Hi there everyone, welcome aboard for another live stream. In fact, this is going to be, I think this is it's pretty much the last one of this year.
We might be able to squeeze one in next week.
Possibly, yeah. Well, this is certainly the pre-Christmas live stream, and it's great to have you all aboard. We've got the trains running, and today we're going to be talking about my top 10 favourite, the best locomotives of 2019. So certainly something to look forward to. And I feel like getting a bit festive. How about you guys? Cupboard Monkey, fire up Christmas. So there we are. Christmas has been engaged. So, ooh, it's going to fall over. Christmas is a bit rickety this year. So there we are. Christmas engaged. Right. The Cupboard Monkey is currently sorting out the comments, so hopefully in just one moment I'm going to be able to actually read your comments. I can see on the screen that they're coming up, but my eyesight's a bit naff. Oh right, and let's have a look. Let's see who's in the room. Berry120, hi to you. You appear to be the first person today in the chat room. Well done. And we've got Somerset Trucking and Transport. Hi Jenny, how are you? I'm pretty good actually, thank you very much. And how's yourself? Angus's Trains. Oh, hello to you and Merry Christmas. You're in awfully early tonight. It's great to see you. How are you doing? I know there's been a lot of bushfires and that out in Australia. I hope you're keeping yourself safe. We're getting an awful lot of coverage of that in the news. So I'm thinking of all of you guys out in Australia. Somerset Trucking and Transport, Merry Christmas Jenny and a Happy New Year, same to you guys as well.
Can I just jump in for one thing?
What?
Hi guys, just as a quick comment, because if there are any river counters out there who are wondering, yes, this is to scale. It's a giant tree, and the little house that's in it, that is to scale too.
Yeah, just think Trafalgar Square or something. Hi to you, Evan Railway 2019, Leslie Gilpin, mince pies. I'm not really a big fan of mince pies, but I'm sure the Cupboard Monkey will get something. B. Mozza, hi to you, great to see you as well. Alan Reynolds, PVA J-Cloth, Alan says hi. That was actually a really good tip earlier this year. I have used the PVA J-Cloth tip extensively. G. McIlroy, McIlroy, Happy Christmas to Jenny and Zoe, Happy Christmas to you, Mark Rice, hi Jen and Zoe, great to be back. Piccadilly Model Railway by John Warner, hi to you. And Evan Railway 2019, Merry Locomas, I like that term actually. Flymo Chairman 1, hi to you. Berry120, loved the snow video you posted earlier. No snow here. Well actually there's no snow here either. That's some archive video footage from, I can't remember whether it's last year or the year before, but I thought, you know, it is the season to be jolly. We've had some pretty unjolly weather with lots of wind and rain. It's been pretty naff actually this year. So what better way to make things a little bit Christmassy than by posting up some trains running in the snow video. So I do hope you all enjoyed that. Thomas Lord, Merry Christmas to you. Brian Moslin, Merry Christmas from 247. Thank you very much. And don't forget everybody, if you haven't caught it already, I think it was Saturday's video, we did a review of the 247 Developments etched brass nameplates. So go and check that out after the live stream if you haven't already done so. Also, don't forget to mash that like button. We've got 42 of you in and only 3 likes. So I think there's something wrong there. Come on, mash that like button, because it massages my ego and I like having, I want to be popular.
Cupboard Monkey says, here are some biscuits.
Oh yes, today's video.
But we do have a guest who's come up, and do you want to say anything, Santa?
Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas!
Oh,
here is a present for you. Ho ho ho! I've got to go now.
Have you? Okay, well look, you be careful Santa, there's a fire lit. Don't burn yourself on the way back up the chimney.
Ho ho ho, no!
Oh dear.
Well, that's nice of him.
It was actually when you said there was a special guest, I seriously thought, has somebody rocked up as like a surprise guest?
No,
you
sorry.
talk to the nice people. I want to stuff my face. These are really nice.
Yes, Jenny here has decided that the best thing to do is to eat chocolate straight away whilst you're still talking to people and welcome them to the show. So, welcome to everyone who's here. That's very nice of you to turn up. 51 people, that's not bad. for like
It's all right.
Christmas Adam, that's pretty good.
Actually, Angus's train says, why does it say Loft Chat 2? Well, it's because we've not been in the shed for quite some time. In fact, the shed, if you go out there, is a complete tip. I've salvaged so much stuff from there.
It's practically just empty now.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of turning it into a game room.
Nah,
My third game room.
Well, you'll have a job, because I've been salvaging the inner lining, the wood from it, and also the loft insulation that's between the inner and outer
It's
skin.
alright, I'll line up with games at the time.
Okay, whatever. But yeah, Angus's trains, that is why it's now called Loft Chat. We had a discussion about this a couple of weeks ago, and we decided it was time to rename it. So we're on Series 2 of the Jenny Monday Club, which is going to be Loft Chat or Loft Live.
Right, I'm going because I've got work to do.
Oh, hold on, stick around, talk to the nice people so I
Okay.
can stuff my face.
Basically, a few people were saying, why is it still called Shed Chat? You're not in the shed anymore, so we changed it. And now everyone's saying, why are you calling it Loft Chat? It used to be Shed Chat. So basically, you can't please everyone, so we decided to just like alternate between pleasing some people and pleasing other people. It's how we do efficiency.
Keep talking, I've got my mouth.
Oh my, you young whippersnapper. See, you've seen this? The young whippersnapper always going around snapping her whippers. You know, when I was a kid, you wouldn't have snapped any whippers. You'd have made sure that you were careful with them because those things are expensive. I mean, I'm not entirely sure what a whipper is, but I'm sure it costs a fair bit because everything seems to cost a lot these days. I mean, look at Fortnite. How many kids must spend a fortune on Fortnite? When I was younger, a Fortnite was free. You just had to wait.
Okay, cupboard monkey. So we just need to get the cupboard monkey off the soapbox.
Okay, bye.
And today's beverage of
Merry
choice...
Christmas, everyone.
Yeah. Go on, push off the cupboard monkey, but you're not having some of these biscuits?
I might have.
No, you're
It's
a
not
full
really a
2.2 pounds.
It's not really a kilogram. It's more like 600 grams
Yeah, that's what she's
of
telling us.
pure sugar, and it was delicious.
So that's why she's bouncing off the ceiling. But today's beverage of choice is Hardy's Shiraz, and I just really fancied a nice red wine. But it's coming up to Christmas, and I thought, as it's the end of the year, yeah, actually, I've just spotted your comment there. Angus's train still haven't sent you an email. Yeah, send an email, Angus. We'll sort out something. But it's great. I've seen all the comments come in, and Stephen Taylor says, "Happy Christmas. Both enjoyed the Hornby video." Now, actually, something I need to say about that is the Hornby video. It's really great. Good to see that. It was a pleasure to work with Hornby. But there is a full, unedited, unabridged version of that video going out on this channel on Christmas Day. So it'll probably go up in the early hours of the morning. So it'll be there when you come to get up and go, "Oh, Santa's been!" You'll be able to watch it. It's about an hour and 10 minutes, and it's the full build along with a little comedy skit on the front. So look out for that. Don't forget to watch it, share it, and like it. But you've all seen the super secret project, which sorry, you just got a big view of my forehead there. So I can now finally bring out of the shadows. I've got to be careful trying not to break it. I shall bring out of the shadows the super secret. Oh God, I'm festooned with stuff in my way here. Yeah. Right. This was the super secret project that Les was so eager to tell you all about that we did for Hornby. So, there it is. Let's try and. Oops. I've got my leg on the mechanism, but as you can see there, they're going round at a hell of a... Oh, that's backwards. There we are, that's forwards. Look at the speed those ice skaters are going round. There we are, that's a better speed. It's not wired up, so the lights aren't running, but this is what we built for Hornby. So we've got a good festive vibe going on here. And it was great fun to build, and hopefully it'll be the first of many things. We are planning on doing some other stuff with Hornby again, in the new year, so do look out for all of that. I'm going to put this down, actually, it's quite heavy. But as for what's happening to that, I honestly couldn't tell you at this moment in time. We don't know whether it's going to be going down to Hornby to go on display for a bit, or whether it could quite literally just be pulled apart for bits and pieces. Let's have a look. Where do we? Mark Rice. Hi Zoe, nice to see you. PS2 games. You got? Yeah, Zoe loves PS2 games. But anyway, I get sidetracked so easily. Yes, meanwhile, back at the ranch. And like I always say, if I don't read out your comment, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's quite simply that I start yabbering away and I miss a lot of the comments. There's only a small screen over there, and once they've scrolled off the top, if I haven't noticed them, if you've got a really good question, then do ask it again in a bit if I haven't, it's obvious that I've missed it or anything. I did see a comment somebody said about, is that the Longmoor Military Railway loco on the inner track? And yes, it certainly is. So this one going around here is, what's it called? Frank S. Ross, which is the USA dock tank. And come on, speed up. Number 300, Longmoor Military Railway. It was a model rail exclusive. I bought it, I think it was at Worley last year, or maybe even the year before. And it's actually a beautiful little runner. And I got that with the Longmoor Military Railway brake fan that Invicta Models did as a special commission, and then also a main Backman Range Army ventilated fan. But without further ado, let's have a look. Leslie Gilpin. Jenny would be good on trackside. Steve Arnold, or as a guest. What's trackside? I'm not familiar with that one. I'll be back, says... I'll be back. Jenny, I would like to see you have a 3-rail Hornby track on your layout. How about it? Not really practical up here. I do have a lot of Hornby 3-rail stuff knocking about, but the layout is at my father's house. It's more of his thing, really. So Zoe and I'll have to do a video over there at some point. Oh, wow. Wardle Road has just donated £4.99. Thank you very much. That's on the Super Chat. That does mean an awful lot to me. Thank you very much for that super generous donation. Wardle Road says, hi Jenny, I've been very inspired by your content, so made a YouTube account. I'm nearly on 100 subs already. Merry Christmas. Well, thank you very much. YouTube is great because it does let you, there's a whole community going on YouTube, and it is such a brilliant place to learn new techniques, to see what other people are doing. It's almost like a virtual model railway club. And I like what we've kind of come to have with the Jenny Monday Club, that we kind of bring everybody together and we get to chat about trains and stuff. I know it's my voice droning on. I did invite a few people over for today. Unfortunately, being the day before Christmas Eve, a lot of people have got the family commitments, so haven't been able to get hold of anybody to come up. Don't worry about it, you get to listen to me. But yeah, thank you very much for that, Wardle Road, and Merry Christmas to you. Steve, we have an awesome community. Brilliant. Evan Railway 2090 says, Jenny, can you show me that O-gauge locomotive next to you? Right, Cotters Moore says, it's not Monday without watching a troublemaker on YouTube. I couldn't possibly... Have you been watching somebody else's video? Actually, I'm going to talk... It's Christmas, it's not the season to kind of harsh people's buzz, but I've noticed a growing trend on YouTube for these kind of... what's the word I'm looking for? There's very, very negative videos about models from manufacturers, and I will be honest with you that I don't like to really slate things, because people sometimes ask me, why are you so generous with your scores and that when you review? Well, by and large, I'm only reviewing things that I wanted to buy in the first place, and things get a first screening process in the shop, and if it doesn't actually pass muster, I don't buy it. But I'm very mindful that without the manufacturers, it would be a very difficult hobby for a lot of us. I remember the bad old days, back in the 80s, when it really very toy-like range, being sold, I guess, at inflation adjusted, some quite high prices, and I'm very grateful that the hobby has moved on, that there's so much more available, and that people like me are able to build a layout like this. Back in the 80s I couldn't have done this, but no. Anyway, I'm rambling. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, need to talk about Evan Rower 2019 says, you maybe get out the wine. Cheers, I'll drink to that. So it's a quality Australian wine, actually. Yeah, so the Hardy's Voyage, and it is Shiraz Mourvedre, Wine of Australia, 2019. It's a good year, good year. I'm actually a big, oh my word, a big fan of Australian wines. But Wardle Road has donated another £1.99. Thank you very much. That's come through on the super chat. My word, you're ever so generous. You don't have to give me any money, but it is very much appreciated. And of course, without the generous donations from you guys, with the Patreon, with the super chat, it would be really much more difficult for me to do these videos. And also, I want to extend my thanks to a lot of the manufacturers as well, who've come on board sending over review samples. I am going to get onto these locomotives in a moment, because that is the substance of tonight's Monday chat, or at least it's the title that I put up. Cottismore says, I've just pre-ordered the Acura Scale Class 97 with sound. Did you see the release date? Class 97? That's an engineer's number. You have to be more specific. Class 97 was kind of, from what I remember, a catch-all for all of the locomotives that were in kind of departmental non-revenue earning use. So it could be anything from a 37, 86, X37, Fat Wallet Boy. Right. I didn't see that one, it has to be said. Yellow Class 37, right, that makes sense. It's quite a crowded market with the 37s, it has to be said, yeah. But it's not really my thing. I know I reviewed the Hatton's Class 66, and yeah, I think a lot of you are probably a little bit surprised to see me with the Class 66. It was a loaner, so it's gone back now, and it was a pre-production model anyway, so they wouldn't have let me keep it. But that was a very impressive model, and one of the things as well, a bit naughty, I noticed another YouTuber made a big thing about the axle boxes falling off. Now that was a quirk of the pre-production model, and everybody was told that, but it seems some people decided to ignore that and be a little bit excessively harsh on Hatton's, I felt, with that, because the view I took was that if it was something that Joe Q Public was not going to be subjected to, it was a little bit insincere to make a big thing about it, when actually disingenuous, the buying public would never experience that problem. That's what we were assured. But anywho, Angus's trains. Oh my word. Combat Bunny. Oh, thank you very much. Oh my word, £19.99. You are ever so generous. Thank you very much. I'm going to be rendered speechless at this rate. But look, thank you very much. That is an amazing, amazing Christmas gift. Thank you very, very much. And as I said before, actually, Combat Buddy and Tim's trains pushed us over the total. And I was being flippant at the time. So, well, if it goes over £100, I'll buy a locomotive, and you get to choose what it is. But I'm guessing we get at this rate, we might get into that territory again. But look, thank you very much. That is ever so generous. But Coddesmore says, not your thing. I'd be bringing my fleet of tractors around next time I'm there. You can order them from Acura Scale's website. Yes, certainly very much, Coddesmore. I'd love to have you back on. I know I've invited you a few times, and you've been struggling with pneumonia. And you told me. So how is that doing? Because I mean, pneumonia is a pretty nasty thing. So I do hope you got that under control and got better. Do take care. But yeah, more than welcome to come back. Bring your stock, actually. I'm pretty easygoing. Run your stock on here. I keep saying to Les, bring his stuff round and play. But yeah, I'd love to put your really modern stuff through its paces. We'll go all the Reba trains, Wales, all of the time. But I am going to come on to these in a moment. Coddesmore says it's still here. Antibiotics are plenty. Yeah, I must admit, I was 16 months old when I got pneumonia. It's a very young age to get it, and I nearly died from it. And I still have scarring in my lungs from that childhood. But I ended up in hospital, really, really touch and go at one point. So you have my utmost sympathy, Coddesmore. Pneumonia is a really nasty illness, so you just take really good care of yourself. Angus's train says, are you getting a KR Models GT3? I must admit that does tempt me, Angus. It's certainly on the radar. Ham Shackleton's in. Good to see you as well. Garthian says, would you, Zoe and Led, like to come down and visit the Stratford Barn Railway sometime during 2020? It's just about to scroll off the top. Come back. Come back. Yeah. What? Guardian says, Evans, I'll read the comments above. Combat Bunny says, you're welcome. Thank you very much, Combat Bunny. That was a very generous donation. So thank you ever so much. Evan Railway 2019, is that Sam Strange that made a thing about the axle boxes? I believe, yes, it was. Which I thought was a bit disingenuous, because we were all told that that was a quirk of the pre-production model, and that the production models wouldn't have that issue. I know that Hattons have since issued kind of a thing saying, well, you know, in the really rare, if your axle boxes were to fall out, here's the way of fixing it. Which I guess they had to put that out because of him. And, you know, Sam, that was a bit naughty, you got told. Guardian says, would you, Zoe, and Les like to come down and visit the Stratford Barn Railway sometime during 2020? You could get plenty of footage and get a Guards fan ride with me. Yeah, certainly that's something I'd like to get out and about a bit more. It'd be probably on a Sunday, because I know Les works Saturdays, I work Saturdays. But yeah, whereabouts is Stratford Barn? I'll have to look up where that is. I can't do, because my internet connection's being used for the live stream. I can't, the way we've got it set up here, I can't actually independently look stuff up. But yeah, thank you very much for the invite. We'll look into doing something. Steve Arnold says, can you PM me, Jenny? Maybe possible and for sure. What I would suggest, at the moment I can't send any PMs and stuff, and I'm likely by the end of the live stream the old vitamin booze will have soaked in. So the best, the screen over there just started flickering. What was I going to say? I forgot what I was saying. My train of thought is completely derailed. Leslie Gilpin says Stratford Barn, Rugeley, isn't it? Oh, that's not too far actually. Yeah, that was it. Basically, the best thing to do is to send me a PM through either the Book of Face or send an email to Jenny, spelt Jenny, at Jennifer, it's Jennifer, -KIRK.com, just to remind me. Otherwise I'm likely to forget at the end of 3 hours with plenty of booze and talking. I'm liable to forget, so just to warn you. Cottesmore, absolutely right. If you message Jenny on her Facebook page, that's the best way to get a hold of her. Yeah, and that's actually how Cottesmore originally got in touch with me as well. So that's probably the best. And it's actually, I think at the moment, we're going to update my website, because my website is still stuck in the past and goes on an awful lot about my writing career, and actually that's been superseded by doing YouTube these days. So the website needs to get a big revamp, and there's going to be like a media contact page, because I've had an awful lot of manufacturers getting in touch, and it's a very convoluted way of them getting in touch. So it'd be much better if we're going to set up an email address for stuff like that, and it just makes it a bit easier to officially get hold of me. It's not like you're not going to get my telephone number. When I worked on radio, I remember the travel person accidentally giving out their home telephone number instead of the travel hotline number. Tamworth, right? Yeah, Tamworth, right? No worries.
What's worse with that? What would be worse than giving out your home telephone number? Would it be if no one ever phoned it?
You've heard me tell that story, yeah. It was the fact she gave it out and then nobody rang. So there we go. Apparently you can add a contact there. Really nice. Eat it. No, I can't. The cupboard monkey keeps trying to pass me biscuits here. But I didn't know out a contact email address on YouTube. I'm looking at Cupboard Monkey, because Cupboard Monkey handles all that side of things. I'm still at the stage where I've got 2 little cups and a long piece of string, and I have to keep the string taut to keep in touch. Berry120 says the famous YouTuber accidentally gave out his home telephone number when he masked the keypad but forgot to mask the tones, so people are able to work it out. That's funny enough the same reason why cash machines and stuff don't. They used to have a tone keypad, and then they realised that anybody stood behind could memorise the tones and work out what your PIN number was. So that's why on a cash machine they beep, so you know it's like working, but it's all the same beep. Cottersmore says, ask Zoe to message me, I can show you where and how. Zoe, did you get that? Oh, read the chat, you'll get it. She'll get it. Right, anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch, these locomotives, we were talking about my top 10 favourite locomotives, the best 10 locomotives of 2020. Not 2020, we haven't had that yet, 2019. Now, the thing about this is, these are locomotives that I've either reviewed or that I have bought within the period of 2019. That doesn't necessarily mean that they came out in 2019 if they were old stock, or even in the case of at least one of these I bought second hand. But without further ado, it was the year of the Terrier, the Rails Daypole Terrier. I got a really, really good exclusive of comparing that to the Hornby one. And here actually is a Hornby one. I'm still waiting on the Rails stroke Daypole Terrier. Hasn't, as far as I'm aware, come out yet. And believe me, I've been checking in on that. So for now, I'm really, really pleased with my Hornby Terrier. So I'm going to hold that up nice and close. This is in Southeastern and Chatham Railway livery. And it is actually a really good model. I always say to people, there's nothing wrong with the Hornby model. You know, it's not like all or nothing. The new Hornby model is a good model. It's just a case that the Rails stroke Daypole one is pretty much perfect. But I'm still waiting for it. And in the absence of the Rails Daypole Terrier being on the market, this is the next best thing, and it is a really great model. Now, I think I got that back over the summer. It was one of the things that actually I picked it up due to an error when the stuff for the GMRC was sent out. I did check, nobody else had ordered it, but we were sent a couple of these by mistake, and we got to keep them. So that's where that came from. I would have bought one anyway, I have to say. Merry Christmas to the people. It's Les. Oh, right, yeah, right. Little Sue, tiramisu, do you like cookies? Oh, come on, who doesn't like cookies? But I'm not ignoring comments. I need to get through these because I'm very much mindful. It's like, meanwhile, back at the ranch, and we've done an entire 3-hour live stream before now, and I've never quite answered the question, but I was starting to try and answer right at the beginning. But the next one up was the Saint class. I believe it's Saint class. And I got this fairly early on this year. And this is Night of St. Patrick. And I'm not even sure when this originally came out. It's not that old. But I've actually bought this second hand from Arcadia Models. Now, I did a full box opening and review of this. And I actually sound fitted it as well. I fitted it with a Castle class Hornby TTS sound chip. It was actually really easy to do. But I do really like this model. So I'm going to try to hold it up nice and close there for you. I like the livery, I like the model. I'm a big fan of Great Western Railway locomotives, so I've put this into my top 10 the best of 2019. It's showering couplings on. Get out of it! It's just showered the coupling onto the track, so just give me a moment there. Blooming coupling hooks come off, so let me try and fix that. Hate it when this happens. You end up with a little box full of the hooks and never quite sure where they came from. So at this rate, I'm going to end up shorting out the entire layout. But I thought that was a really good model. It's got representation of the motion underneath the boiler, and I just really like that. Now, the next model I'm going to show you It's from Bachmann, and funnily enough, this isn't the only Bachmann model which I've put into my personal top 10. And this is the 30XX, basically the Swindenized Robinson 8K, later the LNER 04s. Some of these were spread around after being commissioned by the Rail Operations Division. Essentially, at the end of the First World War, they had all these spare locomotives left over, put them up for sale, and some of them were bought up by other railway companies other than the Great Central Railway stroke LNER. So some went to the Great Western Railway, and actually they were long enough lasting that, as you can see here, lasted into the BR period, put in some sterling service for the Great Western Railway. But some also went to the London and North Western Railway, and I've seen no evidence of them reaching the LMS ownership, or at least getting to LMS ownership and being repainted into LMS livery, so not entirely sure how long those lasted. And I believe, was there a Southern Railway constituent also bought some as well and ran them into the ground? Certainly some were shipped abroad as well. There's a number ended up in Australia, but I just really like this model. I found, I just got a real soft spot for the Robinson 8K design, and it's become one of Bachmann's very much flagship models. They've released it in London and North Western Railway livery, Rail Operations Division livery, Great Western livery, LNER livery, Great Central Railway livery, and the BR liveries therein as well. So I really love it as a model. And it just really does surprise me that this year, that is the only Bachmann model that has gone into my top 10. Because in previous years, I've been something of a Bachmann fangirl. I can remember not that long ago, almost pouring scorn on the Hornby range. There was the odd item that I would buy, but I was very much a blue box girl, buying the Bachmann items. And I'll be honest, it's been very much a big switcheroo. Hornby's got its act together, so much so that I now find that I buy very little Bachmann. It's quite strange. And there's an awful lot of Hornby, and you'll see in the top 10 locomotives of 29 just how much Hornby I have been acquiring over the last year, and it's because really great models are coming through. Beijing TMD asks, has anyone put lights on a Terrier? I have seen it done, and it's actually not as difficult as you might think, in all honesty, but it's not something I personally go in for. I know that the Rail Stroke Daypole Terrier will be having the flickering firebox glow, which is as close as steam models seem to come these days, having working lights. I have seen lights added to these things, and so actually it is a viable proposition. Brian Moser says, let me know the number of the ROD loco. I believe the one that Bachmann released, they did it as 1918, and I think that was quite, there probably was a real 1918 War Department Rail Operating Division Robinson 8K. But it's also the year that the First World War ended, and I suspect that's why they picked that particular one. And it is one on my hit list. The London and North Western Railway one, actually, I really do want to get that, but it's quite expensive. It's like £145. So I'll get around to it, I guess. But other locomotives, I'm just let's have a look. Yeah, Cottesmore says, Hornby have upped their game since Simon's return. They have their mojo back, and it's fantastic to see. Totally agree with you, I have to say, because I never wanted to see any manufacturer struggle. I think if Hornby had gone under, it would have been a sad, sad day. Would have been very much like the day that Atari went bankrupt, and they actually held a minute of silence on the New York Stock Exchange, on the Nasdaq, to mourn the passing of such an iconic company. And I think it would be the same if that happened to Hornby. I think we'd be very much poorer for it as a hobby. So I'm glad to see that they're kind of finding their feet, and some of these models are amazing. Berry120 says, I think Bachmann might have got a bit complacent, and since Simon came in, they can't afford to do that anymore. Yeah, and it's one of the things that I've found is that approaching manufacturers, I guess I kind of, I've got a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? More confidence. And one of the reasons that I'm getting review samples is quite simply because I was very forthright, and I just approached an awful lot of manufacturers saying, hey, I'm a YouTuber, I do reviews, got a reasonable sized audience, and not the biggest, but I've got good audience engagement. Would it be possible to be sent samples, be loaned samples is how I normally put it, to be able to review? And actually, surprisingly enough, most manufacturers were very, very interested. It surprised even me. But Bachmann they won't return my emails. I speak to them at shows and when we film GMRC, and they're like, yeah, we'll get back to you, and they never do. And I have to say that when other manufacturers are realizing the importance of social media, of the online world, and we've got a big community going on here, and I think you can't neglect that, because we talk. There's other YouTubers as well. I guess a lot of you follow people like New Junction, Sam's Trains, all these other guys. So there's a lot of people find out about models and find out whether they're any good through social media. So it's a good idea to be a part of it. And as I pitched to one particular manufacturer, I said, you can have your own in-house videos, but they do tend to come across very QVC. It's very difficult for a manufacturer to come across in this sort of sincere, genuine kind of way, because you have that key connection, that what's the word I'm looking for? You have that there's a legal term, I can't remember the word. No, it's escaped me. But essentially, it's very difficult for a manufacturer to produce their own internet content and be, come across as something other than like a very UVC kind of style. So a lot of manufacturers get what YouTubers are doing, and I'm not the only one to get sent samples to review. But I've just had great difficulty with Bachmann and also Helgen as well, it has to be said. Helgen kind of were a bit poo-pooey when I approached them. And I guess, it was part of me thinking, you don't know me from Joe Q Public, but you would have thought that they'd have gone away and gone, oh, who the hell is this person? And kind of looked me up or something, I guess. But no, Helgen went as far as to say that they'd pass on press releases, possibly, maybe, but Bachmann won't even respond to my emails, which I found quite bizarre, because they were the market leaders, and I'm guessing that the likes of Hornby and Dapol and Accurascale and Cavalex are overtaking them, and you can't rest on your laurels. When I was a kid, there was a company called Commodore Computers, and they rested on their laurels with the Amiga series of computers. And when they realised that the competition had overtaken them and was really well ahead of them, it was too late, and they floundered. And I don't want to see Bachmann do that. Now, I don't think they will. There's some great models coming through. The breakdown crane especially looks amazing. But the problem is that I'm guessing that they're not getting that kind of engagement out there. And people like me doing a lot of reviews of Oxford Rail, of Accurascale, of Dapol, of Hornby. So that's the bulk that ends up being on my channel, because I can't afford to buy everything that I want to review. So I guess a lot of what I review is tailored by what manufacturers send as review samples. I'm not fishing for certain things. It's just simply, if a manufacturer is very agreeable and sends me a lot of review samples, then I do a lot of reviews of their products, and I'm very grateful to be able to do that. But hey, anyway, let's have a look at Connors Moore says, speaking to Simon, it's not about the number of followers either, it's about the engagement and the audience retention. Those chasing the subscribers for the fame and freebies are doing it all wrong. Absolutely right, and that's one of the unique selling points, I guess, of this channel, is that I've got ways and means to monitor when I have one of the whole points of affiliate links is to be able to prove how many people follow that link and end up buying things. It can be tracked. So I've been able to put forward to manufacturers the truth, the actual figures that are supplied to me from where those affiliate links go, that tell me how effective that engagement is. So you're absolutely right. And I've seen channels that it's almost like they've bought subscribers, because they'll have like tens of thousands of subscribers but put up videos that only get a couple of hundred views. I think as well, it's about, it's all very well to have a big audience, but if that audience doesn't have any buying power, so for example, if your audience is mostly children, then you've got the pester power. They will pester and persuade their parents to buy them certain things, but they don't have a direct buying power, and that can also be make things quite difficult as well. Fly Mode Chairman one says, Bachmann have been around a while too. Yeah, they have. I mean, Bachmann have kind of morphed out of other companies. Some of their assets date back, mainline from the 70s. The General Mills range of stuff, which I think was that. I'm trying to remember what General Mills was. The Palitoy, that was it. So. Bachmann is not a newcomer to the market, but I believe that the actual the American company where the name comes from is like well over 100 years old. So they're not new kids on the block, not by a very long way. Arguably they're older even than Hornby. But I do feel at the moment like they haven't, I guess it's almost complacency. They haven't realised how the internet scene is changing. And we saw a lot of this with the high street, where, I was talking to Zoe about this earlier on today. When I first got on the internet in the late 1990s, and it was more of a curiosity, an academic-y thing, you couldn't easily buy an awful lot off the internet. The high street was still king. But as the internet made it possible to buy huge ranges of things relatively easily, without having to go to a shop, find out they don't actually stock what you wanted or have the size you want, the high street failed to respond to that. And there's a part of me thinking that perhaps one of the things that Bachmann hasn't quite cottoned onto is that actually reviews through YouTubers is a very important part of a marketing mix, to not only persuade people to buy a model, but to get knowledge of that model out there. And one of the things that I like to do on the box openings and reviews is, our trademark is, I flippantly call it the reach around, Zoe calls it the howl around. And it's, I'll take the model and I will show you every single angle of that model. I'll turn it over, see the top, see the bottom. I'm also trying to do DCC fitting guides and really getting a sense that, it's the next best thing to you guys being able to hold that model yourself, say in a shop, and look at it in that way. And that's what I try and do in my reviews. It's as if I am you in a shop looking at the model in the kind of critical way you do when you think, is this something worth buying? And I think that that's the part of the marketing campaign that maybe Bachmann's overlooking. Not just Bachmann, maybe Helgen as well. Because I've heard from a few people that Helgen can be a tough nut to crack as well in terms of being a YouTuber and trying to get on with that. I don't know. Anyway, talking of Helgen, John Edwards says, Helgen reliabilities for your thoughts, Jenny. I've not had a huge number of problems, it has to be said, with Helgen. I do have a lot of Helgen locomotives. I really do like a lot of the Helgen locomotives because one of their fortes is a lot of the BR diesels. I think their Class 7 is an amazing model. I regard their Class 5 shunter as being the benchmark against which I compare the mechanisms on any other locomotive. I think the Class 5 mechanism is superb. Class 26 I've got, very, very pleased with that. I've got a Helgen 52. I'm quite happy with that. I know, it's like, which is better, Dapol or Helgen? But to me, I like it. And the Metropolitan Vickers, the Bobo, No, the Metropolitan Railway Bobos. I've got 2 of those. Now, what I will say is that some of the detail can be quite fragile. Not so much with the newer stuff, but the older models, like the Metropolitan Bobo, I found the pickup shoes tend to fall off. They're just not very good at gluing the finer detail. And they have improved a lot. I've not had any issues with the Class 7, the Class 5, the 1366 class, which was the model that I bought from the generous donations of principally Combat Bunny and Tim's Trains, and we did a review on that as well. That's actually a really good locomotive. There's a lot of thought going into things like DCC chipping, which is great to see. So I think that they gained a bit of a reputation off the back of the Class 47 fiasco with the grenading chassis with the zinc Mazak issue, and the Class 17s with the motors burning out. But my impression of Helgen is actually that they've come a long way with the reliability. They've got that ironed out. Next is Helgen Class 47 is a pain for blowing chips. Somebody did say to me actually, if your chip's blowing, it does often imply that there's some kind of a short going on somewhere. I've not, as I've said many times before, I don't have any Class 47s. Yes, I know, great oversight. And I'm coming round to the idea of getting a Class 47, but it would probably be a Bachmann 47 in all honesty. That's good wine, by the way. For those of you who are joining us now, tonight's beverage of choice is Hardy's. Really good wine. I think the Australians probably, actually, in my opinion, do the best wine in the entire world. Better even than actually French wine is overrated. Don't tell the French, but it tastes watered down. John Edwards says, I have a Clayton with a Duff motor. Now it's interesting actually, I've got a Clayton, the Class 17, and it's got a replacement chassis. Now, credit to Helgen, they did send out a lot of replacement chassis under warranty for that, to try and fix that problem. Now, the interesting thing about the Class 17 was that the motor was not the issue. A lot of people thought it was the motor, and the motors were burning out, but the reason that they were burning out was actually the gear chains were too tight. And I've been told that you can actually rebuild the gear trains, you know, just kind of loosen them out a bit, and you can fix that problem. And I do actually have a spare chassis for a Class 17, which I use as a test bed for DCC chips, because I've got no lid for it. I'm trying to track down, if I ever see a Class 17 lid, a body, for cheap, I would bag it and tag it, because I've got a chassis that it'll go on. But for now, it's a very, very good way of testing 8-pin decoders, also 6-pin ones as well. I've got a 6-pin to 8-pin adapter, and I just test them in that loco, and you can even program them in that loco. So I programmed the decoder that's in my Class 411, which is a big 4-car thing, and my test tracker, you can't see it on here, but it's about 18 inches long. So I actually programmed the chip on my Clayton chassis to give it its ID and speed characteristics, then took it out and fitted it to the Class 411. So top tip there, if you've got an awkward locomotive for programming, something like, say, a Western Pullman, a Class 411, or one of those modern newfangled things. Blind Paul, good choice, Aussie wine. Yeah, the Aussies do a good wine. I don't have anything from Five Trains, as James Moody asking, nothing at all. I've been told actually that their 37s are particularly good. Hans Taylor, here in Canada there are so few hobby shops that sell model trains. If I buy from the USA, you have duties exchanged, never mind huge shipping charges. Yeah, buying from overseas can be fraught with difficult, it has to be said. James Hall says New Zealand wine overall is a lot better than the Aussie stuff. Actually, I have had some good New Zealand wines. I'd go as far as to say that they're certainly on a par. But Australian wines are much more common here in the UK, and there's some really good ones. I do love Hardy's. Hardy's is a really good vineyard. They know their stuff. O. O'Neill says, is it warm in the loft? What do you use to heat if not? It's actually reasonably warm. It's very well insulated. I made sure of that when I converted the loft. So I don't actually have a heater of any sort in here. The only heat source is effectively the computer, the big computer that's currently running the comments over there is kicking out a little bit of heat, and the lights, full enough, could kick out a little bit of heat, and they're actually enough to warm this room. And you know, it just goes to show insulation is very important. Brockwell Lane says, who does the 6 to 8 pin converter? I don't know, I got gifted it. It's essentially, it's a 6-pin socket wired into an 8-pin plug. It's as simple as that. Oh, and Oriti 12 says, guys, is your video okay? Nobody else is saying anything about the video, so I guess it's your connection, possibly. Cottesmore, no, but won't be wrong live with you me until they resolve the license issue with a Reader DB. It won't happen. Oh, the Bankman 158. That's a bit too modern for me, it has to be said. Barry 120 says, yeah, video is fine for me. Oh, actually, Spanish Red. Who's that said it? Flymo Chairman 1. I like a Spanish Rioja. Now, I'm a big fan of Aussie wines, but I do like a Spanish Rioja. Particularly the Faustino vineyard is my favourite wine of all time. So if you ever end up entertaining me for a sit-down slap-up meal, Faustino 2, if you can ever find it, I've not seen it for a great many years, is my favourite wine of all time. But I also like Faustino 5, I think is particularly nice, and I actually think I rate Faustino 5 better than Faustino 1, which logically it should be the better wine, but actually I prefer Faustino 5. My wine cellar currently contains Faustino 7, 6, 5 and 1. It did used to have Faustino 2 as well, but I drank it all and I can't find another source. Yeah, YouTube occasionally drops a frame or two. Stretch Edit says, I have 3 Helgen Locos, a class 27, 47 and a DP2 which run lovely and would pull the house over if need be. Now, the Helgen class 27 is on my hit list. I do want a BR Blue Tops numbered class 27. So I do intend to add one of those to my collection. Russell Benton says, I've only found Faustino 7. If you go to Asda, other supermarkets are available. Asda tends to stock Faustino 1, 5 and 7. Faustino 6 is a weird one. I do have some in my cellar, only saw it once, bought 3 bottles, drank one, put the other 2 in the cellar, and then found that it just disappeared. And I got it from a Tesco in Chadderton, actually. But anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch, let's have a look at some of these other locomotives. God, how long? An hour it's nearly taken me to get onto some of these. Now, the next one of my top 10 for 2019 is the Drummond 700 class. And quite simply, this was because at the time, it was the greatest value for money for a really good locomotive. Its only downside for me was that it wasn't the easiest to DCC chip. Certainly fitting sound into it proved beyond my rudimentary means, which I thought was a little bit of a disappointment of design, but a standard 8-pin chip does fit in it pretty well. And I thought in terms of value for money, the Drummond 700 deserves very much to be on the top 10 best locomotives of 2019. Funnily enough, that video, we were talking about engagement earlier on in this video, and to give you an example of engagement, the Drummond 700, this particular model, is one of the ones that I managed to get Hattons to sell out of because I did the video, linked through, boom, they just sold like that. So to give you an idea of engagement, that was a pretty good set of stats I was able to show Simon Kohler off that one. Yeah, I'm not blowing my own trumpet, just letting you know I have a trumpet to blow. Oh, that sounds a bit rude, actually. Right. The next locomotive, everybody knows I've got a soft spot for A4 Pacifics. So on my top locomotives, the best locomotives, top 10 of 2019, it wouldn't be a complete and proper list without the Hornby A4, and this was the most up-to-date, all singing, all dancing version of the A4 that Hornby revamped a little bit, and this was quite simply they took an already pretty much perfect model and they gave it the easy means to fit sound to it, and hats off to Hornby. They could have rested on their laurels and we probably wouldn't have thought any less of them for it, but this model, I was just really impressed with it. They upped their game when, quite frankly, nobody else was going to touch them on the A4. It pretty much is their model for keeps now. So I was very happy to put Miles Beaver into my personal top 10 locomotives of 2019. Everybody's saying the video's glitchy. Nothing to do with me. Most people seem alright with the video, so I can only assume it could be if you're on Wi-Fi, check your Wi-Fi signal. Flymo Chairman, I've never had English wine. Oh, I have. It's okay if you need to clean windows or top your car up with screen wash, but I'm not a big fan of English wines. In all honesty, we don't generally have the climate for it. NEROT12, I have to say, nobody else seems to be having trouble with the glitchy video. I'd check your internet connection. It may be worthwhile disconnecting and then reconnecting and see if that fixes the issue. It may sound a little bit flippant, but quite often that can fix glitchy videos. Now we've got 134 people in the room. It's really great to have you all along, and this is pretty much, we're the day before Christmas Eve here in the UK, so I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, although there's going to be plenty of videos coming out. So I'm just going to, I showed it to you guys earlier on. You've probably seen on the Hornby channel the video of the making of this. What am I sticking on? Oh yeah. This is the winter scene that Les and I built for Hornby. Let me just turn the handle and you can see the ice skaters going around there. We're very pleased with this build, and our plan is quite simply they're getting dizzy, aren't they? Look. I'm slightly drunk. That's working really nice. We had a bit of a problem with the skaters sticking a bit. They're going to get dizzy. Ooh, look at us. I'm going to put this down because I'm clearly very drunk. But don't forget to look out on Christmas Day, first thing in the morning. Our Christmas gift to you guys is the full unabridged episode of that. Now Hornby have put out a 27-minute or so version. We have an hour and 10 minutes of the full build in all the detail, and it's a pretty good video, even if I say so myself, to be able to watch that and see all of the construction details, all the tips, the guides to getting that at the way that you saw it there. So look out for that. That's our Christmas gift to you guys. Wednesday's video, Christmas Day. Watch it at leisure. Rockwell Lane says, is there a snowman on that? Yes, there is actually, and he's actually made from Pico snow scatter and Speed Bond glue, and you mix them together and you almost make like a paste, and you roll the balls out, and then when you stick them together, just a little fine tip ink pen and just dabbed on the buttons and stuff. It's quite simple as that. Joe Toff says, Jennifer, you are hilarious. No, I'm drunk, but thank you very much. It's good wine. Dundee Road, nice. It's on my watch later list. Thank you very much. Like I said, you see the shorter version that we did for Hornby, and it was a pleasure to work for Hornby. I have to say, we're going to be doing some more stuff with Hornby in 2020. So a few plans being floated around, nothing firm yet, but we're looking forward to being able to do some more stuff with them. But as for that diorama, I'm not sure what's going to happen to it. At the moment it's kind of stored up here. It'll possibly go down to Hornby to go on display, but I know that they're fairly pushed for space, so probably not. And my guess is that eventually we'll pull it apart. I guess Les will get it to incorporate all the bits onto his new build when he gets to do it. Mark Wick says Jennifer is at her best when she does these chats solo. Actually, I prefer having a wingman. So I did invite Leonard, who's got family stuff on. I did invite Melanie as well, but unfortunately she wasn't able to make it because she had work commitments. Yeah, on deadline for a project, and just had to knuckle down with that. So, Cottesmore, I know you're still suffering a bit with the old lurgy, but open invite to you, Cottesmore. Let me know when you're better and we'll sort out and get you back on here, because it was great to have you on as well, and there's a few other people I need to get on as well. Evan Railway 2019, Jenny, how many locos can you run? I can run 4 continuously, plus I can mess about in the siding, shunting stuff, because it's DCC, so I tend to just like leaving stuff to run. Brockwell Lane says, I hear Hornby's Visitor Centre is getting a Class 60. Oh, it'd be interesting to see, it has to be said. Swindon 1969, my wife has asked me to do a train around the tree. What she doesn't know is that I've got a Z-gauge mini Christmas layout I'm putting together, and we'll set up downstairs late on Christmas Eve. Actually, if you saw my Access All Areas tour of Rails of Sheffield, there was a Z-gauge layout in a suitcase there as well. It's actually quite a cunning little thing. Berry120 says there's plenty of space in the visitor centre, they should put it in there. Dundee Road says might just wait for the full vid. You can watch both. But it's great to have you along, Dundee Road. Yeah, I've missed you. I haven't seen you in the chat. I mean, you may have been lurking quite a bit, but how are you doing? It's been a while. Don't forget as well, mash that like button, like your very life depends on it, because it makes me feel happy. And also don't forget to share these videos too, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. So one of the things I found actually in the run up to Christmas, people are forgetting to subscribe. So come on everybody, subscribe. Get everybody you know to subscribe. Dundee Road says, uni has been hard work this semester. Ooh, yes, you have my sympathies. I remember when I was at uni doing stuff like dissertations and that. It could soak up a lot of your time. It'll be worth it in the end. Ben Davis says, thanks for the live stream. You're absolutely welcome. Right, let's have a look at some more of my top 10 locomotives for 2019. Now, 2019 could not be complete without the diminutive W4 Packet and Hornby. This just shows how switched on Hornby have been, that they re-released the W4 in the very popular and very quickly sold out Huntley and Palmer's livery, but as Locomotive C. And that says to me that Hornby were very much in touch with what the market wanted. And that is a good sign for any company to listen to their customers and give them what they want. And in this case, there's a lot of people trying to buy Locomotive D that was out last year, and it was massively oversubscribed. So Huntley and Palmer's had 2 of these W4 packets, so very cunningly Hornby did the other one. And it was again incredibly well received, and that is one of the reasons why I think Hornby have really got their form, got their mojo back, because they are listening to what people want and they are providing the models that people want. So I'm very pleased to see this. I've got both of them. I've got Locomotive C and D. But if you are still looking for one, I believe that I did see one in Arcadia Models in Shaw. If you do go there and buy it, or you can ring him up, do a Google search. I'm not connected anyway, I don't get any kickbacks or anything. But if you ring him up, if you're really desperately after that Huntley and Palmer set, and he does still have one and you buy it, tell him I sent you. The other locomotive as well, and this again was genius. I suppose after many years of saying, oh, we keep telling people there's no demand for it. Industrial locos are plenty. And this is the B2 packet, which was a really good follow-up. And we got in there Hardy's Hobbies sent over some 3D printed driver figures, so I was really pleased to be able to review those as well and put a driver figure in there. So it really is a great locomotive. The only drawback I found with it was when DCC fitting it, because I couldn't get the ready fitted one, so I bought this and a chip for the same price. The leads I found were a bit short in there, and I had to actually hardwire this. But it's a really beautiful locomotive, and the weight that are in these as well, they are amazingly well designed. So very happy to put that in. And as you can see, there's so many Hornby models in my personal top 10 greatest locos of 2019. It just shows how well Hornby have been doing. And you may be thinking, yeah, but you get sent review samples. Au contraire. Out of all of these locomotives, only one was a review sample. So, 10 locomotives, only one was sent to me as a review sample. That, was I didn't have to pay for. I got to keep afterwards. Now, the next model, this was sent over as a review sample, but I had to buy it. And it's testament to how good this model is. It's the Class 122 from Dapol. That they sent over this sample. It's actually the Hatton Special Commission as Thunderbird 1, the route learner, the BR route learner, and they said, well, look, we'll give you a 10% discount. Basically, what we pay in postage to get it back to us, we'll take that off the price. So I effectively got like £7 taken off or something. Because they didn't have to pay for the postage to get it back. But it was such a good model that when I was reviewing it, I thought, you know what, I'm going to buy it. And it really is a great model. Now, I did get round to... one of the problems I found with it was when chipping it, I couldn't get the internal lights to work inside the actual coach part itself. Now, I tracked this down to being a quirk of the Dapol Imperium 21-pin chip. Works fine. So I had a locomotive, it's actually the Bachmann J11, that had a Dapol Imperium chip in. I've got a database that tells me what chips in what locomotive. So I thought, well, it doesn't need all the functions, so I did a swap of the chips, and everything works just fine. So I don't know whether the Dapol Imperium chip is slightly non-standard, and so is the Dapol model, or whether it just has slightly more functionality than a lot of the other chips on the market, but that fixed that problem. But this, to me, was a really good model. So I was very, very happy to put it into my top 10 locomotives of 2019. It is a superb model, and there's an awful lot of choice available at the moment, and certainly in the sales, and it's not just Hattons, I think Rails have got them in the sale as well, Kerno, Invicta, all of these places. Shop around, you find your retailer of choice will have them at a really good price as well, most likely. It is a great model, an absolutely great model, so I've got no hesitation to actually recommend that. Now, somebody did ask at the start, what's that O gauge locomotive? Now, I don't know who it was. Somebody's saying stream broken. Hans Fellow, you're on the money there. 145 watching and only 70 likes. Come on, mash that like button, everybody. You know you want to. It's only you, RAT12. Only you appear to be having problems with the stream. So I suspect your internet connection is playing up in some way. But to get back to this is the only O gauge model. I don't buy a lot of O gauge, it has to be said. We didn't actually do a box opening review on this. It's O gauge, so if I hold it next to a Terrier, you can see the size difference there. My garden line is O gauge, and I'm currently building a small scenic diorama in O gauge. I am filming as I go, but basically that's going to appear as a video in the new year, possibly as a feature length episode. I'm in the process of filming that, so you won't get to see anything of that until later. But this locomotive, I bought it at Alexandra Palace, and delivery is one. I really, really wanted to get this when Model Zone did a special commission of it. using the Bachmann base model in 00. Never got that, sold out. Only ever once seen it since, and it was a beaten up second-hand one that had been, it looked like somebody had played football with it, which was a great shame. But if I ever find a decent one at a decent price second-hand, then I am really keen on getting one of these in 00 as well. But I'm finding in O gauge I'm going more and more towards NCB, and I'm not quite sure why. But I do have other locos. I think I've got 4 locos now. In fact, I was saying to Zoe earlier on, I've now got as many locomotives as I've got items of rolling stock in O gauge. Now, what I would really love to see from Dapol is the brake van that they do, the sort of like the XL and ER type brake van, the BR standard 20-ton one. In NCB colours. Now, it's been done by Bachmann in 00, and it would be lovely to see that in O gauge from Dapol. Also, the 60-ton mineral wagons, some of those as NCB internal users as well, would really go well with this, and also with Maud, which is the Sentinel that they've just brought out. There is going to be a box opening and review of that in the early new year, so that is still to come. But I was very happy to put this into my top 10. The O gauge models from Dapol are truly amazing. I've not seen any bad Dapol O gauge models. I really have to be honest on this, and it's what got me into O gauge. They made it affordable and they made it high quality, and really you can't say better than that. I mean, these locomotives, you can pick up the 57XX panniers for down to about £145. I've seen them brand new, but certainly under 200 quid. I really want to get a Class 8, it has to be said, but it's just simply a case of getting around to it. And the price is amazing. Let's have a look. Yeah, Brockwell Lane. Bet the real one didn't stay that colour for long. Yeah, I think it probably got very dirty very quickly. Turbine 6202. DCC Supplies have a good offer on their special O gauge locos and wagons, including the pannier. Satisfied customer. Absolutely right. Yeah, I forgot to mention that was a DCC Supplies special commission. Although I did buy it off the Dapol stand. I like transport, says Jenny. Pre-order a Dapol 66. You know you want to. I don't do 66s. If I was going to get a 66, I'd buy the Hatton's 00 model. It really was a great model, I have to say. But I don't do the modern super privatisation stuff. And it has to be said, you may be wondering, why is that locomotive, the Hatton's 66, not in my top 10? Well, A, I don't do super modern image, and B, I don't have one to show you because it was a loaner. Now, the final model in my top 10, oh my word. Melchester Model Railway has donated £20 on the super chat. Oh my, thank you very much. Merry Christmas, Jenny. Thanks for all your videos and loft chats this year. Really enjoy them all. Well, look, thank you very much. That is super generous of you. Oh my word, I'm being rendered speechless here. I'm gonna have to roll up all of the donations today, and I'm not fishing for donations. Look, don't feel that you have to give me anything, but look, it's super generous of you guys. Thank you very much for that. And I'm going to put them towards something. Part of me that I know I definitely want a Class 27, but I know people keep asking on the loft chats and the live streams about 47s. Maybe I should bite the bullet and get a Class 47. But yeah, look, thank you very much for that. Melchester Model Railway, that was really kind of you. Merry Christmas to you too. Tranton Model Railway says, is that Monty, Duchess of Montrose, as the final locomotive of your top 10? Yes, you guessed correctly. This is a TTS sound fitted Duchess of Montrose in the BR green with the early logo, and this is exactly this is another example of why Hornby are so on the money at the moment. It's great to see from Hornby. Try and hold that a little bit closer. This model is an exact duplicate of the Hornby 00 model, but in super duper detailed form. It's got sound in this particular example. It is a great locomotive, but this here is my childhood, or at least the Hornby 003 rail model. Now, you may remember that I did do the A4 Pacific, old versus new, and that video seems to go down very well. I had my childhood Silver King versus actually that Miles Beaver that's down there. Now I'm going to be doing a few more like that, and this is on the hit list. I do have my childhood Duchess of Montrose downstairs. It's been retrieved from my parents' house, and there's a number of other locomotives as well, and I want to do the extreme retro old versus new head to head, just to see how far we've come. But I think it was genius by Hornby to release this livery and this identity, because that really does get that retro nostalgia pumping. So for me, no qualms. It is an expensive loco. I think with the sound chip in it, I paid about £204. It's the most expensive 00 locomotive that I've ever bought, and when you think it's not even a special commission, that is truly amazing. But to me, just for that retro-ness, it was worth every penny, and it got me thinking that is perfect marketing from Hornby. Because a locomotive that, if that had been something else, people would have gone, oh, it's too expensive. But with that, they snagged me. I wouldn't have bought that if it wasn't that particular model, but they've snagged me with that livery, because that is my childhood toy there, but in super detailed form. I can have my childhood toy running on Weir Yard and it won't look out of place. And it won't short the track out either, because my childhood one was 3-rail. But it just shows how great Hornby are doing, how much their mojo has been found. So that's my final in the top 10 of 2019, and I'm sure you'll agree with me that there really are some great locomotives here. I'm going to pull some of these back. I've noticed they're off the frame, so pull some of these back into view. I think that's off the end, so I'm going to move that over there. I'll move that one as well. So there we have it, my full top 10. Let's have a look. Russell Benton, I like the retro videos. Thank you very much. Well, there's going to be a whole load more of those coming throughout the early part of next year. It's Hornby's 100th anniversary, their centenary year, and I want to do some stuff to tie in with that. I think so many people, that's how they got into the hobby the first time round, and I want to compare a lot of the older models with the newer models. So I've done the A4 Pacific. I'm going to do the Princess Coronation, that's the Duchess of Montrose. 280, 264 tank, standard class 4, 8054. I'm going to dig one of those out of storage, compare it, that will be to the Bachmann model. D8000 to, again, the new Bachmann model of the same locomotive. There's a class 8 shunter. I've got a Hornby 00 model, which was light years ahead of the competition for so many years. Not until Bachmann introduced theirs in the late 90s was it superseded. And I'd like to do an 8F as well. I'm going to have to badger Hornby for a new 8F to review if they're bringing a new livery out in the 2020 range. That makes me sound like such a grasper, like, oh, gimme, gimme, gimme. But no, I'll probably buy one anyway. I really do want to get an A4 8F into my collection as well. Fox Hill Railway says your snow video earlier was cool. Thank you very much. I put that out. It's just a nice little video for Robert Knight says, please ask Jenny how much the class 47 would be. I've just seen it. I think somebody's messaging on Facebook. It came up. Class 47 would probably be, depending on where I got it from, I've seen them for about 120. On sale they might go for 100, but I think the RRP is about 147 or something. Come on, somebody who knows, Bachmann 47, what are they going for these days? Big Sid, hi Jen, you up for a Christmas party snog? Hold on, there's I don't know whether that worked. That's the old James Bond trick. Pretend to be snogging somebody, but actually it's just yourself. Russell Benton, 6th of January, home to the February Backman. Yeah, looking out for how much have I got so far? People have donated £47, so I think to guarantee that I can afford a Backman 47, I can't ask people to give me. Please look, just treat yourselves. It's really generous of you, and I am very appreciative. And don't you worry, I will buy trains with it. But I don't want to come across as being, you know, like gimme stuff. But look, it's very much appreciated if you do. I'm going to be rendered speechless in a moment. I've got this. It's Christmas. I'm drunk. I'm talking rubbish at the moment. Flymo Chairman says I've got Duchess of Abercorn in maroon. One moment. Oh yeah. Is this the one? Yeah. Okay, I've just been rendered speechless. Combat Bunny. Oh, you shouldn't have. Combat Bunny has just donated £48.99. Oh my word. You really shouldn't have. That is amazingly generous. I'm going to have a speechless moment. I don't know what to say. That is amazingly generous. Thank you very, very much. Zoe, I've just been rendered speechless.
Yes, I can tell by the way you're talking.
People keep giving me money.
Oh my goodness.
John Cartley says Backman class 47, £60 to £150. I've been rendered speechless.
Don't cry. You'll get mascara all over your face.
Oh yeah, I put makeup on as well. I thought I'll make a special because it's Christmas. I'll make so I've got makeup on. I don't know. I normally can't be bothered with makeup. I got that out to show people.
I know you did. I'm just moving something in.
Wow. I really have been rendered speechless.
Oh, Santa sent this as well, didn't he?
Yes. Open that up. Well, look.
Hello.
Oh, we are all done.
Hello.
There we are.
Yeah, nice little selection box. There's only like 4 or 5 things in it. Stick them out.
Yeah, incidentally, Heron Foods, I'm not sponsored by them, but I love Fry's chocolate creams. £1 in Heron's Food, and that's
so,
what you get.
20p per bar, basically.
I should get one for my dad. My dad loves... Yeah, we'll go back and get another. Wow. Fox Hill Railway, we're having Norman Collier. There's a problem with the microphone, apparently.
Is that? It wasn't when I was listening to it.
Is there anybody else having an issue with the audio feed? It may be because I was rendered speechless.
I'm going to go and check. I'll go and grab my phone to check.
Zoe's going to check out that, but
Technical monkey is on it.
The technical cupboard monkey is on it. Oh my word.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, look, thank you very much. That's like super generous. You don't have to. I really do appreciate it, but you really don't have to. Make sure that you don't give me too much money, because make sure you've got stuff to buy yourself, like shiny toys and that. But I'm thank you. Ham Shackleton says it's been the same all night. Momentary audio dropouts and going out of sync. Might be because we're on wireless up here as well. Zoe? Oh, she's Is the Wi-Fi range extender actually switched on down there? We've got a Wi-Fi range extender down, just like literally at the bottom of the stairs. So, Christopher Coish, how is everyone doing? I'm doing fabulously. People keep donating loads of money, and it's like, I feel really, really humbled. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm rendered a little bit speechless here. Thank you. Linnet 12DD says, hope you have a good Christmas. I am actually. Like, oh. It's just great to hang out with you guys. Come on up, Cupboard Monkey. You want to talk to the nice people so I can stuff my face with chocolate?
Guys, you've made her evening, but you really don't need to.
You don't need to.
Jen loves doing this as much as you guys love watching it. So that's what this is about. It's a community thing. She loves talking to you, and it's clear from the amount of times that everyone turns up that you guys enjoy it as well. That's what this is about. You don't have to give her money. Don't worry.
But thank you very much, and I will put it towards new Locomotive. I'm gonna get a 47. I think we've talked so much. People keep asking me about if I have a 47. So I'm going to track down a class 47 in something like Intercity Swallow or what? What have you found?
The United States has listed the fictional country of Wakanda as a free trade partner.
This is old news. They removed it from the list. It was there.
It shouldn't have been there. But the thing is, we invented our own country so as a bit of a joke. So now I'm thinking, can I get the United States to recognise Genitopia?
No, it was put in there as part of the testing process, and they forgot to take it back out for the database. They did put it in as a test.
Well, maybe.
I have a piece of chocolate.
But here's the other one that's coming up from the TV channel Dave has put out a nice thing here saying, Britain has now reached the point where no one actually has any food in. Everything in the fridge is for Christmas. You can't eat that. We're saving that.
That's my childhood right there.
Isn't it? You open this up. You can't have it. You can't have it. It's all for Christmas. But it's the 22nd. We're going to stop.
So is that a common thing? Did you guys all have that where the fridge would actually be creaking? You'd open the door and things would start to fall out. There was so much in there.
But none of it was allowed to
be.
But
you didn't have anything to eat because it was all for Christmas dinner.
I used to survive in situations like that at home by just porking out on oranges. You know, the tiny tangerines that you get for Christmas. That's how I did it.
Oh, are they clementines?
Tangerines? We always got tangerines.
Satsumas?
Yes, satsumas. Hey, here's the thing. Is it an actual satsuma if it's not from the Satsuma region of Japan?
Is that where Satsuma is?
There's a big clan in Japan of Satsuma.
Is that what the oranges are named after?
I think so, but I'm not entirely sure. I've got more knowledge of Japanese history than I have of fruit, so...
I do know that Jaffa, as in Jaffa cakes, named for the Jaffa orange, which itself is named after the port of Jaffa in, I think it's Israel, which is where they were all exported from.
Brian Harper says, my fridge is stocked with beer. A man after Jenny's heart. Bonsai oranges. Nice one.
Not that.
Oh, I'm just going to lie down here because I am so tired. I had like 4 hours sleep last night.
Why? What were you doing whilst I was asleep?
I was playing Elder Scrolls Online.
So whose fault's that?
I was defending the land of Tamriel.
So she stays awake all night playing computer games, and somehow that's my problem?
Yes. You didn't stop me. You know I have a problem.
But Brian Harper, that is quality there. That's what fridges are for. Beer and pizza. Fox Hill Railway says, Jen, run a HST, please. I don't have a HST. I feel worried now to say that I don't
What's
have
an
a
HST?
high-speed train.
Just turn the speed up.
It doesn't work like that. I don't have a HST. Oh, look, just don't. No.
Don't. Really don't.
I don't have a HST. So just relax. Just relax.
Yeah. Pick a different one instead.
Plane Spotting Aviation says, is that a railway? Indeed it is. This is Weir Yard, where you'll see a lot of my videos are filmed up here. It's a very large, well, I say very large, some snooty little posted a snidey comment saying, oh, that's not very big, that just looks like the loft in a standard semi-detached house. And it's like, yeah, but it's big enough for me.
It is very large compared to the average one that you've had over the years.
Well, the house downstairs is quite a big house, so even though we've got the gable end, there's quite a bit of space there.
Yeah. I could fit my entire first house into part of this house. And most likely a few people have had that kind of issue.
Is it Brockwell Lane? How about the Police Class 47 from Kernow? Hey, now that's actually a thought. I'll have to go and have a look at how much they're doing them for. Plane Spotting Aviation says no hat. I don't do hats. This has been one of the big bugbears of my life. When I was a kid at Christmas, my dad would, oh, put your party hat on. And I hate wearing hats, really despise wearing hats as a rule.
She's terrible for it, because she looks cute in a hat.
I don't. I've got a big head. It looks stupid most of the time. So what I would do is I'd pull the cracker and then I'd just tear the hat in half and go, I'm not wearing it.
Oh dear, I was opening it and it just fell apart in my hands, man.
Let's have a look. Gathion, I have a Bachmann version of the NCB panel which I still need to fit a decoder in. I could lend it to you to compare to the Daypol big one if you want. Well, thank you for that very kind offer, but it's one of the golden rules. I know Intercity 82, who's well, he was pretty much the biggest model railway YouTuber. He overwhelmed himself by inviting people to send stuff in for him to review, and I'm determined not to fall into the same trap because it's this. Zoe, I'm talking to the nice people. Will you stop it? But I'm looking over there actually, and I've still got a pile of stuff to review. So as it's Christmas, I get told off by it. Don't show them the stuff. You break the magic. Pass me the box.
No. Flymo Chairman says, according to me, weird.
What?
No.
Weird.
I'm sorry, but no. A proper northeastern accent.
It's like. Oh, Tim's Trends. Oh, my word. Thank you very much, Tim's Trends. Jenny, please share with Zoe. Thank you very much, both of you, for all you do to bring us these fabulous loft chats. Look, thank you very much. I feel ever so humbled. It's like, you don't have to, guys, but it's really, really, thank you. It's like, I'm so emotional. But thank you. I love to hang out with you guys with these videos. And it is a great community, and I think it brings us all together because it's not just, you know, like me and you, but I noticed in the comments as well, a lot of people would chat with each other, and this is great. It's almost like a virtual model railway club, and I think that's very important for the hobby. But look, thank you very much for that, Tim's Trains. It's very, very generous of you. Thank you. So I'm definitely getting a class 47.
What? Guys, you really don't need to. You really don't.
Look,
thank you. We do appreciate it, but thank you.
Make sure that you don't give me too much money that basically you struggle. Make sure you get yourself something nice as well.
Oh, always make sure.
But thank you very much.
But according to Flymo Chairman there, I pronounce it weird. But yeah, no, the proper northeastern accent, even a Geordie accent.
Why, man? Where's weird?
No, weird.
Where's spooky, man?
You would string the vowels together so it would be weird.
I lived in Durham for 3 years the first time and 2 years the second.
Yeah, and you still can't say why man where's spooky.
Why you hate that was spooky.
She can't do it. She sounds more like someone from Sunderland pretending to be someone from Newcastle.
Are the people from Sunderland, or is it Maccas?
Sunderland's Mackems, Newcastle's Geordies, and Middlesbrough's Smog Monsters.
Are people from Durham are Dunelmians?
Dunelmians,
Because you're too posh
Because
for
we're
your own.
posh, like. Is
Yeah,
this what
I
you
like
wanted?
transport. Everyone is speechless. I'm very... No, not that one. The one in the cardboard box. You tell me off for showing people what's on my to review pile.
Hello.
This is a review sample that I've been sent to review. So it's obviously not in my top 10 for 2019 because I've not reviewed it yet. But this came through from... I want to extend a big thanks actually to... I said before, to the manufacturers for their support. Now this is a loaner. Or it's, as I understand it, it's a loaner. So I have to give it back.
I've never actually seen this so far. Whoa.
So there is a full review coming on this lovely little locomotive.
That
And
is cute.
one of the things as well, I will share this with you. I'll get told off because I'm doing a full review on this.
Yeah.
To get the DCC fitting, I always, rate things on whether they're really easy or not. There's the chip. You just pull that out. So it's just literally this just pulls out.
Swindon 1969, thank you so much.
Oh my word! Thank you very... Oh. 1969. Merry Christmas to you as well. That is incredibly generous. Thank you very... You don't have to... I keep telling people, just... You don't have to, but it's very much appreciated. Thank you ever so much. Wow.
Before you get too emotional, put that back in the thing. 'Cause
I am quite
the
drunk.
last thing you need to do is damage it.
I'm going to wake up in the morning and go, Zoe, I had this wonderful dream where people kept giving me money. And now I've woken up, I've got a hangover.
And your pillow's gone.
Yes. And that's one of our injuries. And when I woke up, my pillow was gone. So this is one of the things that's on my to review pile. So I'm very mindful to go back to the NCB shunter. Have I got that in wrong? I don't want to damage these things.
Yeah. You've got to be careful on the plastic.
Basically, what I was told was that Daypol will lend a review sample. So I know some people went, la-di-da, getting all this free stuff. It's not all free stuff. There's an awful lot of stuff that is loaned, and then
Basically, they send it out, you review it, send it back, and then they send it on to someone else.
yeah, essentially this will be if you see one of these reviewed in a magazine in the next couple of months, it's probably this one, because it'll go from me to somewhere else and get reviewed. But Hunt Heath Model Railway. At this rate, you'll be able to get a decent Zemo sound chip for your 47. Actually, that's quite tempting. But one of the things I will say, I think that
Go and deal with the idiot.
one of the things that what have you? That just jumped.
Yeah.
One of the things that actually I'm a big advocate of the TTS chips. I believe that the Class 47 was available as a TTS chip at some point. But the other one as well is, I think it's Soundtracks or Econotracks. They're kind of they're a budget, a budget sound decoder, but not TTS level of budget. And you through the CV settings, you program what type of locomotive you want it to be. So I've got a 37. In fact, 37 isn't really accessible. I've got a 37 and a Class 101 with that type of sound chip. They cost about £60. So, oh my word. Oh, Warrington Train Spotter, thank you very much. You didn't have to, but that is ever so kind of you. Merry Christmas, Jenny. Peace to you. Have a drink or two on me. Love your channel. Cheers. Oh wow, thank you very much. I'm becoming very overwhelmed.
Warrington Transporter, thank you so much.
Wow.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Cheers to you. Oh, and like I keep saying, make sure you guys have enough to get yourself all the toys that you want as well.
Yeah.
I feel really humbled by your generosity, guys. You really don't have to, but thank you very much.
Yeah, never feel like you have to.
Oh wow.
Look, I'm going to leave you to it because
Tim, no worries.
basically I'm sat on the floor here,
Well, go
guys.
and
She didn't bring me a cushion.
Go and get your baby croquet and a cushion.
She expects me to deal with everything myself, you know.
Go and get the croquet, and whilst you're going to get the croquet, put this back.
Do you need a drink?
I could probably do with. Do we have any
Sobering up?
Do we have any soft drinks?
No, but I can go and get you one if you want.
Do you want any Coke? What time
I'll
is
go
it?
and get some Coke.
Yeah, get some Diet Coke.
Oh, hokey cokey cokey.
Beverage of choice for those of you late joining is Hardy's. I'm a big fan of Australian Reds, although Spanish Rioja, Faustino, really good call.
Is it just red wines, or do you also enjoy Australian redheads?
Flymo Chen 1, don't worry at all. Flymo Chen 1 says, if I could give a bit I would, but I don't have the super chat thing. I appreciate the videos and the Monday Club. No, don't worry about it.
Seriously, we do
I'm
this
not
because
expecting
we do all this because we enjoy having the community around and being able to chat to people. It's not a money thing. You don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, I always say with these videos, I do them because I feel passionately about the hobby. I feel passionate about the models. I love model railways. I always have. I mean, for me, it started way back. I can remember probably being like 8. No, I shouldn't. I've just had a chocolate bar, but thank you. Here you are. Have a Turkish delight. But I can remember finding my dad's model train things in a big like packing crate for 18 months, and I've never looked back. But I'd be doing this anyway, you know, even if it was just me broadcasting to nothing. I think I'd probably do it as an outlet for my enthusiasm. But look, thank you very much. It's so much appreciated. And you know, it's just the fact that we just have all you guys to hang out with is a present enough for me. It's really much appreciated. Thank you very much. Ania Ariti 12 said, girls, are you okay? How is the weather there? Wet, and it's cold, but not cold enough to snow. It's just raining instead, to be honest. It's a little bit windy, but not desperately so. Plane spotting aviation. Do you do train spotting? I don't, it has to be said. Never have done, never got into that side of things. You know, I always love travelling by train, looking at, you know, I always say to people, I can't read a book on a train because I just find myself looking out the window. I love the railway architecture, looking at the lines and the other trains and stuff. I always have done. I just love watching the world go by from a train window. It is brilliant. But I've never done actual train spotting. It's not something that's ever particularly appealed to me. Don't forget as well to mash that like button, hit the like button, tickle it, and massage my ego. Not that it's been massaged an awful lot, but it's 170 people watching. It's really great to have you all aboard. It's always lovely to hang out with you all, and there's a lot of people just like to sit in and listen and lurk, and don't worry, that's absolutely fine. I'm quite a big lurker as well on the internet, but it's great to have you all along. And you know, we're here on the day before Christmas Eve, so I hope you're all having a great time. And I think, you know, the Model Railway YouTube community is great. We've got a great little community going on, and it's really good to meet quite a lot of you at Worley Model Railway Show. And don't forget as well that I will be at Alexandra Palace, the London Festival of Railway Modelling. It's coming up in, I think it's March, and I'm going to be there all weekend again. I'm doing some being interviewed by Lawrence at the MRC stand on both days, I believe. But I'm also there with the War of the Worlds layout to be able to see the layout that you saw me and a team of other people building on GMRC. That will be there and operating all weekend, so it'd be great to catch up and see some of you guys there as well if you're going to L-Form at Alexandra Palace. Russell Benton says, "Well, you certainly beat EastEnders." I'm not a big soaps fan, so yeah, I think listening to paint dry would beat EastEnders for me. I've never got into the soap thing, I'd never have the time. Thank you very much. Foxhill Railway has donated €2.29. Thank you very much. That is incredibly generous. Thank you for that. And I do appreciate it all. But look, as I keep saying, you don't have to. But thank you very much. The Growler Blackwood N-gauge layout. Are you thinking about coming to Model Rail Scotland in February? I don't know. A lot of people have been asking me, and maybe I should, kind of just be Sunday or something. But yeah, it'd be great. I've never done that exhibition, so I think it would be nice to do. So watch this space. Tim JD Dow, Jenny, do you have any old Wren or Lima models? Well, no Lima models whatsoever. In terms of Wren, I have occasional items. Now, back when I was young, my father used to occasionally buy Wren items. I guess because a lot of them used the same moulds that Hornby 00 did, and that was what attracted him to it. So I do have a few Wren wagons. Now, I used to have a Wren BR Blue Class 8 shunter, but it was given away to my cousin at some point when I hit my early teens. And it's a very complex story. It was a legitimate and complex story, but that's where that went. I don't know what happened to it. But Wren was always very expensive. So I think my father preferred to just buy Hornby 00 second hand, because that was quite cheap on the second hand market in the early 80s. Ham Shackleton, I don't watch TV, I don't have one. Totally agree with you. Well, we do have TVs, but they can't tune into TV, and we just use them for watching. We've got, a Netflix subscription, and also we just Zoe plays games on them. We watch Blu-rays, DVDs, that kind of thing. But we don't watch TV. I don't know where people get the time. It's like we're talking about the soaps. Where do people get the time to avidly consume Coronation Street and EastEnders? And I don't even know if Neighbours is still... does Neighbours still get shown? I remember that used to be a thing when I was young. Flymo Chairman 1, totally agree with you. I love watching the architecture and history around the railways on a few journeys I've made recently. Yeah, I just love watching the infrastructure go by. Station Road Model Railway, a huge Merry Christmas to you and Zoe, the most down-to-earth model railway channel on YouTube. Oh, thank you very much. You have to try a New Zealand red up here with the Aussie reds. I'll certainly look out for one, actually. Yeah, I will try and track some down. Plane spotting aviation. No, I don't train spot. Train spotting. I did answer that as well, actually. Yeah, I like transport's right. I did answer that earlier on, but no, I never got into train spotting. Steve R, on the subject of chocolate bars, can you still get Fry's chocolate cream over there? We certainly can. There's actually 3 different variants of Fry's chocolate cream. I've got 2 of them here. Peppermint cream, the regular Fry's chocolate cream, and there's also, it's actually a lot harder to find, but they are still out there, Fry's orange cream. And now the Fry's orange cream is my favourite, but it can be quite tricky to track down. Tim JD Dowd, nor me, I got rid of Sky as well, save her £760 a year. Yeah, and that's the thing with us, is we got rid of, I actually sent our Virgin decoder box back about 6 or 7 years ago. I boxed it up and I posted it back to Virgin Media, and I said, look, I never watch anything, and it just becomes an incredibly expensive way of very occasionally watching a Formula 1 Grand Prix back when they were still shown on terrestrial TV from time to time. And we haven't missed it, and I thought we might miss it. I thought, well, we'll give it a go for a few months, see how it goes. And we just didn't miss it. And I've got so much done. I mean, some people ask me how I am the queen of speed modelling, how I model and make models so quickly. And I guess part of it is I'm not distracted by watching TV a lot. Leslie Gilpin, I use the TV for catch-up rather than live telly. I was never quite clear. I know you can't watch the BBC now on catch-up. But is it all right to watch any of the other channels on catch up? I'm not quite sure how it works. I don't go looking for stuff on catch up. It has to be said. I never know what the legality around it. I guess it's just the BBC you can't watch on catch up, but I'm not sure on that. The Growler Blackwood Engage layout. My wife loves the orange cream. They are nice. My father remembers there used to be another one which was like multicoloured through it, different colours, creams in each of the segments. But we're not sure what that was, and it certainly isn't available anymore. Egg and Chips Man says, who needs TV when you've got YouTube? Absolutely right. There is so much on YouTube and such variety, and sometimes I do get asked, what other channels do you avidly consume? And actually, Scotty Kilmer is a mechanic on YouTube, and I find him great to watch. He's a very down-to-earth guy. Tyler Hoover has Hoovy's Garage. I also watch that channel. I just love his presentation style. I think they should consider him for one of the presenters for Top Gear. I think he'd do quite well. But then also New Junction. I don't know if New Junction is in the chat room tonight. May actually be down in London. I know there's been like the last run of the HSTs, and he was down there. But I do watch New Junction, and also Martin Zero, who does a lot of urban exploration, mainly around Manchester. He's just put out a really great video going up the clock tower in Manchester Town Hall. These are all great channels, always worth checking out. There's quite a few others that I watch as well. I've got a friend from way back as well who's very, very successful on YouTube now. She does it as a full-time job. Zaria Byron she's called, but she goes by, I'm trying to remember what her stage name is. I'll probably get told off for equating Zaria Byron with the actual name she goes by on the internet. I can't remember. It's like Hagen, something Hagen. But yeah, know her from way, way back. So I do occasionally watch her videos as well. Brockwell Lane says, I fancy egg and chips now. Actually, egg and chips is good quality cuisine. Yes, Frymo Chairman 1, fruit cream. That's the one that my father remembers. He said he used to remember buying it in the tuck shop at school. Leslie Gilpin, I mean, without a license, yeah, that's it. I steer clear of all terrestrial TV. We don't watch it live. We have no means to watch it live, and we don't watch the catch-up either. We don't have a TV license because we don't watch TV and don't have the means to receive it. And you know, like you guys say, I don't miss it. I find that I use my time a lot better as a result. Anea Oriti 12 says J91 is running. Not familiar with the J91. I know J94 is the Hunslet Austerity, but the ones that the LNER had. Not familiar with the J91. Blind Paul says, I like Martin Zero too. Yeah, he's very, very watchable, and I just love some of the things that he's explored. He's comparatively newcomer to YouTube, but the quality of his videos is really, really good. I know he likes trains, so I don't know whether maybe he's one of the lurkers in the chat room. I don't know. I don't think he'd watch somebody like me. But there's also DJ Slopes, aka Daniel Ibbotson. Watch some of his stuff as well. He's very good. Leslie Gilpin says, Fry's Five Boys chocolate. Who remembers that? This is going to be a nostalgia fest. The only other Fry's chocolate that I'm familiar with is the Fry's Turkish Delight, which I do quite like, really. Oh dear, it accidentally got opened. Oh. The only trouble with the Fry's Turkish Delight is that because the Turkish Delight itself is a little bit squidgy, the chocolate has a habit of cracking off and going everywhere. These are quite good. Ham Shackleton, I'm trying to type with a cat on my knee. Cats do that. Fred can't get up here, so I'm safe. That one guy. Shout me out. What is up? No. No. Somebody delete that one guy. Have we got any moderators in? Brian Harper, I just had ham, egg and chips, but no daddy sauce here in Canada. Oh, sacrilege. Fox Hill Railway. Marklin Sweden is a good modelling channel. Yeah, I have seen some of their videos actually. I don't follow Marklin Sweden, but I am aware that that they do some great videos. Ham Shackleton says Martin Zero does narrow boating too. Yeah, I've seen some of the videos of that. It's probably not great watching somebody stuffing their face with chocolate on a channel, but hey, what her. Flymuch M1, yeah. Martin Zero is quite passionate about discovering the history of the industrial Manchester and beyond. He is very, very good. I always look forward to Martin Zero's videos coming out. I think actually, Steve Leto is another one. He's a US lawyer, but he has a great patter telling the stories. But Martin Zero and Tyler Hoover, aka Hoovy's Garage, they're probably the only two YouTube channels that when I see a new video posted, I'm straight there to watch it. There's something about those two guys. They're really, really very sociable, amenable, engaging when you watch. Oh yes, of course, and Angus's Trains is a good channel too. Yeah, I do watch some of your videos too, Angus. I like you've got some kind of camera wagon. I like the videos you've done where it goes around your layout. It always makes for a good layout shot with a camera wagon. And also, you're our correspondent in Oz. How are you doing down there? Because I know there's been a lot of wildfires. So, and I know areas, even if they're not directly in danger of fires, there's a lot of issues with the air pollution from the smoke. So, look, you just stay safe down there. I've got a lot of relatives down. A place called Warrigal. I can't remember where that's near. But I know it must be pretty tough at the moment. J. Paul and is that? Oh, we have some kind of cupboard monkey. Who is? I'm really sorry. The Turkish Delight accidentally opened.
Was it delightful?
No. Are you coming up to join me then?
No, I just thought I'd bring you a chair.
Oh, okay.
Of course I'm coming up to join you. Oh man. Carrying a chair, a cup and a cold cord at the same time is hard.
There's a troll in the channel.
Where?
I don't know, it's scrolled off the top. I think somebody may have already dealt with them.
It's Christmas, man. Have a night off, you stupid trolls.
That's it. Trolls never sleep.
That's why they're so annoyed.
Swindon, 1969. Oh, controversial. Turkish Delight is an abomination. I despise jelly, and I think most about it is the texture, but Turkish Delight's alright. But I can tell when I eat it, I'm a bit of a texture phobe, and the part of my brain that controls that is undecided on Turkish Delight, but it lets me eat it and enjoy it. But I can tell it's really on that fine line between being okay and being horrendous.
Just gonna
Leslie Gilpin doesn't like Turkish Delight either.
Well, you're wrong.
Interesting. So I've just done that thing where I forget I'm wearing eye makeup and gone. My finger's all black from the mascara.
You daft bugger.
Yeah, well, I forgot panda eyes, so be it.
Look at how it's paused.
Show them that.
It's paused with Jen just staring into the screen. And it starts again. So, all the people that were saying that there were issues with the live stream, it's not it's not something we can do anything about. I don't know why, but YouTube's gonna, when we check this back after it's recorded, it'll be perfectly fine. It'll just play normally. YouTube, however, seemed to buffer every now and again when sending it out. So that's probably where it is.
Ned's Train says, did you hear about the new Warrington West station? I didn't know. I'll go and look that up. And somebody else said, evening from Peterlee. It's just scrolled over before I read your name. But evening to Peterlee, I actually drove through Peterlee on Saturday. Well, on the A19, straight down the middle. Because I was going from Washington, not the fun Washington, but the original Washington.
You'd have got a bit lost if you'd driven through the Washington that most people think about.
Tim
But you've also
J.D.
got a bit
Dowd,
lost.
Jaffa Cakes are his favourite. And actually,
See you later, Russell. Thank you for coming along. Merry
take
Christmas.
care, Russell, and yeah, Merry Christmas. You take care of yourself. It's been great having your company. And don't forget as well that after the video is complete, you can catch up on any bits that you've missed, because YouTube processes it up into a nice, convenient video, and you can watch and re-watch and share and tell everybody you know to come and watch the video and join in the fun of the community.
Rockwell Lane is saying, do you do any other modelling? Because he likes aircraft modelling.
I used to make Airfix kits, and one of the things that Airfix kits told me was that I enjoyed the painting and finishing far more than the actual model building. So I did the same with Airfix warship kits, and I used to take hours and hours very carefully painting and finishing, and I used to love doing that, but I haven't done that for an awfully long time. I guess once you have a big model railway, that tends to become the focus.
I, on the other hand, enjoyed model aircraft building. I love the Airfix kits, especially the putting them together. I was never very good at the painting side of things. So
I could get an Airfix kit in I think they do it's either 172 or 176, and what we do is we put them on a very fine, almost like a fishing line thread, and fasten them in, and they can sort of dangle over the layout.
yeah,
We could do that.
yeah. That would be quite nice, yeah.
Ian Ryan, naughty boy, don't ask for Turkish delight in Greece. Foxhill Railway says, Merry Christmas, Jen and Zoe's Loft Chat got to go now. Some of us have got work to do. Love our our Monday evening together. Well, look, you take care.
I have work to do as well, but I'm taking some time off to make sure that she doesn't get too drunk.
That my head doesn't get too big. But look, it's been really, really great to have your company, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Don't forget that our Christmas Day video is going to be a feature-length episode of the build that we did for Hornby. It's a full hour and 10 minutes, and it's a full in-depth, in detail for everything that we built with that. So if you want to give it, any kind of scenery a go, it's one well worth watching for some of the hints and tips, and the shows you how. And also tomorrow we've got my Christmas message. It's the State of the Jenny address. It's the Queen's speech. This big Queen is going to give a speech, and oh, it's not a speech. I've already recorded it, so I know what I said. But so look out for that coming tomorrow. And then on Friday, what have we got Friday?
A hangover.
I can't remember what we filmed for Friday.
We've got
We've got a video.
we've got a couple of videos in the pipeline. They're ready. They're waiting to be made live, and I cannot for the life of me remember what they are.
I know, I remember filming it, but I can't remember what it was I was filming. So we've got a Friday video. There is a Saturday video as well, because I know that we filmed that, and I think that that is one of the Oxford Rail Mark III coaches. Leslie Gilpin,
Could be.
too many queens, not enough countries. Brockwell Lane, oh yes, Merry Christmas everyone, and may Santa bring us lots of trains. I hope so as well, actually. And the thing is though, I know what I'm getting from you, and other people are very frightened of buying
It's a bag
the
of
trains.
coal.
Actually, I got a whole load of coal in today. I think people are a little bit frightened buying me trains, because they're frightened they'll get the wrong one. So they tend to just buy me jumpers. So I get an awful lot of jumpers, as you can see. And was this a Christmas gift from you?
No, you bought that one. The other
I
one was a
bought
Christmas
this one.
gift for me.
Greg Palmer says, Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas to you too.
Let's have a Christmas song.
A Christmas song?
Yes.
Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin laid an egg.
The Batmobile has got one wheel, and
No, it's the Batmobile has lost a wheel.
the Joker's run away. Hey.
Yeah, something like that.
We three kings of Leicester Square, selling knickers a penny a pair. They're fantastic, no elastic, all our bums are bare.
I've never heard that one before. But we three kings of Orient are, one in a taxi, one in a car, one on a scooter, beeping his hooter, travelling by on style.
Oh, we never said that. We always said, trying to find a bar.
I may have misheard it as a kid, so I wasn't
Chances
the
are I
most
misheard it, I'm deaf.
Swindon 1969. Legend! I gave my wife a list from Gauge Master. That is actually...
That's a good idea.
When we got married, I did suggest that maybe I could put up a wedding list somewhere like Hatton's, and I got told that that would not be acceptable. Actually, I wonder whether... Maybe that's a missed trick. Maybe Hatton's and Rails and that should do like a wedding list. Yeah, for people who marry later in life, so they don't need another toaster.
Yeah, you'd have a fair few arguments though. So. No, we want a bread maker, not a class 57 or something like that.
I'm very impressed.
I picked a number at random. I'm so glad it was a real one.
You actually managed to pick a... well, they're called body snatchers. They're actually a class 47 that's been re-engined as the 57.
Fair enough.
Hence the nickname body snatcher.
Tim Dowd says, Zoe, do you like Pink Floyd then? Jen and I both like Pink Floyd. I'm a big fan of the later Roger Waters era and the early post-Roger Waters era. Like, I love Momentary Lapse of Reason.
That is
Sorrow,
a great album.
The guitar solo on Sorrow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So good.
And if you've not heard that album, I really do implore you to go away and have a listen to it. It's great. Pulse is a great
very
album.
good.
That's like a live album, and it's brilliant. And then there's the Division Bell. It grows on me. Actually, the more I listen to the Division Bell, the better it gets. But
I absolutely adore the guitar solo at the end of High Hopes. Oh, if they had never made another album, that going out on that solo would have just been perfect. But they did make another album. They made The Endless River,
which was kind of leftover material. I understand why they did it, but it's probably the weakest of the late era.
I think it is the weakest, but at the same time, the more you listen to it, it's like the Division Bell. The more you listen to it, the better it becomes. It's just brilliant.
Angus's Train says there's lots of fires in New South Wales, but no fires near me. But it smells like smoke, and there is a smoke haze. Not matter where you go, there.
We had a similar thing like that
when the
last
moors
year.
were on fire.
Oh my goodness!
It actually smelled because
it smelled like whiskey.
Yeah, because around here there's a lot of peat. When that burns, it smells like whiskey. Which is very peculiar when everywhere smells of whiskey. But I know that a lot of people, things like asthma, are having a lot of difficulties. So I just have to say, just take care. And obviously, we're getting a lot of the news out of Australia over here about the fires. So, obviously, we are thinking of you guys.
Oh my goodness! So.
Flymo Chairman, when we three kings of Orient are smoking an aroma cigar, it was loaded, it exploded, boom, the funniest spinners Christmas show on. Tim J.D. Dowd, High Hopes is my fave track, got them all, don't worry. My favourite album is Wish You Were Here. Wish You Were Here is, I would rate it as being either my number one or number two favourite album of all time.
You could listen to that on repeat forever.
Yeah, I told you. There's only two albums I could never grow tired of, and that is one of them. Swindon 1969, the Momentary Lapse show at Wembley was stonking. Was that part of the became the Delicate Sound of Thunder?
Yes it is.
Which was the other live album, which we've got downstairs, we can listen to it.
Yeah, Momentary Lapse, yeah.
Yeah, Ian Ryan says, torn between Wish You Were Here and Dark Side. They are both great albums.
Dark Side of the Moon is so good.
See, my personal favourite is Wish You Were Here, but I would not judge you badly for favouring Dark Side, I have to say. They are both good albums. Combat Bunny says, use that bam hammer. But actually, where's the... Oh,
I'm dealing with it.
with what?
The idiot.
Which one?
He's just gone. Oh. Who's this new one? We can't speak Polish. Sorry, guys.
I'm assuming that's Polish.
Yep. Sorry, guys, if you come into the chat and you're not speaking English, it's not fair to the majority of the people that are in the chat because they can't speak the language that you're speaking. This is an English channel. Sorry, guys. It's just how it is. We can't use every language. Or we'd end up with like the Tower of Babel. That's why Jen doesn't just lapse into German.
Vorsprung durch Technik. Tell you what, make Combat Bunny a moderator. He's donated so much. I think he deserves the Hammer of Ultimate Power.
Into me now.
So Combat Bunny, we're just trying to make you a moderator. We're going to have the moderator, the new moderator for Christmas. So don't all clamour in going, oh, make me one.
I've got to use your thing because you're the one with the power.
Oh, apparently I am.
Yeah, you get a bigger menu than I do.
Do I? Is
Yeah.
that the right? Yeah, there.
If I was Freudian, I'd look into that. I know how to do it. Trying to tell, I'm the technical one. Right, that should have done it. I think.
Combat Bunny is now a moderator. So congratulations, Combat Bunny. You are the new moderator. You have the Hammer of Ultimate Power. Use it wisely.
This really doesn't want to let me scroll.
It's basically you're on a.
I know what you're getting for Christmas.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's news to me. It's a 15-year-old computer, something like that. It's ancient, so it's like it's grating a little bit. I'm not banning you, Combat Bunny. I've just made you a moderator. You can ban other people.
I Like Transport says, can you use Cymru? Probably. Jen knows very, very little Welsh, but enough to make some people think that she knows what she's talking about.
Jock and Bow.
Yes,
Wen.
I'm sure you don't pronounce it right either.
Jock and Bow.
How do you not know enough Welsh? Your mum's Welsh.
Yeah, my mum's first language is Welsh. Well, it was. So obviously, she's spoken English for so long that her Welsh is very rusty.
The Polish person was wishing you a happy new. Oh right, I had to make sure that after so close. I'd apologise to the Polish person who is.
Can you unban
I
them?
can.
Yeah,
they're not banned. They're timed out. The reason I did it is because she came in just after a troll, and it looked like you might be another troll.
So we do apologise to the Polish person. We'd had a flurry of trolls.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. I'll try and...
So he's going to try and undo what she did. So we do apologise for that. So sorry about that.
And I can't. Sorry, but the timeout will come off in the end. Sorry.
Plane spotting aviation. Oh yeah.
There we are, unhidden. That's why I can't do it. Okay, sorry about that.
They're what? Sorry.
Now everyone's speaking. See what you've done.
Dim gepard tinned with.
Well, whose quarters is that, Jeff? Yeah. This is the problem that I was talking about. If we have a lot of different languages in the channel, then no one can understand everything that's going on.
Yeah, I must admit,
it becomes quite off-putting for people because they then can't feel properly involved. They feel like there's parts of it that are going on without them. And that's not what we want from a community channel.
One of the problems that I had, admittedly, about 5 or 6 years ago now, so I had a flurry of people commenting on my videos in Arabic. And I don't read Arabic. And I ended up cutting and pasting it into Google Translate. And it turned out it was un-Islamic State people posting propaganda. And they were probably doing that on a lot of different people's videos.
Yeah.
And ever since that, I've always been very wary. So it's, not prejudice. Just if I don't understand it, you're always left wondering.
You have to put extra effort in to find out what's going on, and I think that is quite off-putting.
Ooh, chocolate bicky.
So yeah, we try to keep everyone on the same level by having everyone. Oh, for goodness sake! Right.
I thought you banned them.
I thought I banned him as well. This creature keeps coming back. Has it gone? Right, brilliant.
I'm only timed out for 300 seconds then. Do you not just like hit bam?
You'd have thought so, wouldn't you? But unfortunately, Google, in their limited wisdom, have decided that that's not always possible.
Well done, Combat Bunny. The Combat Bunny is on manoeuvres, wielding that hammer. I like transport. Oh, I've already read that out. Angus's train said, "Did I accidentally time out someone?" I'm not sure you did, actually.
No, I think you undid what I was trying to undo.
Will Ticker, hi Jenny and Zoe, Merry Christmas to you both. Talking about the YouTubers, have you seen any of Sunderborg MJ's videos about building a 1950s themed Danish model railway, totally opposite style? I haven't though, no, that's one I'll go and have a look for. Andy 1962 says, Merry Christmas Jenny and Zoe, late to the chat tonight, is helping out Santa wrapping presents. Ooh, that's...
Were you providing the beatbox?
What are you doing?
I am trying my best to deal with this troll.
It's this computer.
It's really just not going to do it, is it? Oh, for goodness sake. It's the same idiot keeps coming back all the time. Look, you're not big, you're not clever, we've heard it all before, and to be honest with you, we've heard it better. So,
yeah.
Get a life.
Yeah, come on, get some better insults.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that we hate the most about trolls. You're not original, you're not smart, you've got very little in the way of life.
I believe you need the second.
And you just need to
Tony Jones says,
disappear.
I'm on the thin peninsula near Pursley, Dundee Road. I
will get you back in a second.
Right,
I'm dealing with these creatures.
Zoe's
Go on.
Zoe's just dealing with the Wallies. Yeah, Cotter's Molly, absolutely right, which is why I tend not to react. You probably noticed me, yeah, I just ban people rather than say anything.
There is a time that you have to deal with. Oh, for goodness sake.
Just go to continue.
I know you have to go to continue. YouTube's breaking, that's our problem. Keep going, babe.
I can't read anybody's comments at the moment.
I know,
so.
just say something while I'm dealing with this.
Hello everybody. I'm drunk, I'm out of wine, so basically I'm gonna have to move on to the code.
Oh my goodness.
My word, I shall slowly sober up. Right, I've lost my train of thought, which is ironic given I'm in a room full of trains.
That's not ironic, that's just you normally. That's your natural state.
Tim JD Dow's got an A level in Welsh. See, I always forget that obviously, yeah, you'd be able to get GCSEs and A levels in Welsh. I did do Welsh at school briefly. When I lived in Ystrygynlais in the Swansea Valley, I went to a Welsh school and we did study Welsh.
That's amazing. It's almost like going to a German school and be surprised that you have to study German.
But it was for 3 months. Essentially, we only lived there whilst we were in between houses. Basically, my father moved because of his job. The house that they bought hadn't been built. Well, it was in the process of being built. It's actually the one that they're in now. So for 3 months, we lived with my grandparents in Ystrygynlais in South Wales. So for 3 months I was in a Welsh school, and one of the things we did was Welsh, which is where I know a little bit of Welsh from.
Very little. What's your favourite word in Welsh?
My favourite word?
Mine's the Welsh for number 5.
What is that? Scythe?
Pimp.
Oh, pimp. No, 7 is scythe. Also, I know what 3 railway engines is, as in the Thomas the Tank Engine book in Welsh. Ichi Engine Chen.
Rockwell Lane says, trolls don't believe in karma, but I do. Well, here's the thing about karma. You might not believe in it, but karma believes in you.
Leslie Gilpin says, Ystrygynlais, or who strangled Alice, as a mate in Swansea used to call it. But it is pronounced Ustragunlice.
Yeah.
Or Ustrad, as the locals just used to refer to it, rather than using the full name. Richie Download Festival goer. Hi Jen and Zoe, finally got my friend into model railways and gaming. Oh, brilliant.
Well done.
Mm.
Gaming especially. Yes.
Tim JD Down. Jenny, I was being sarcastic, sorry, because at Newport Station where I spot, they always announce the trains must... Oh, don't worry about
They
it.
do, yes.
Garthion says, no snow in North Warwickshire this Christmas. Would love some for my first Christmas by myself. I know what you mean. It's the weather has been very peculiar this year.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any snow here, have we, at all? There has been some snow up on Rishworth Moor, which is by the little house on the prairie, which people go, huh? If you are very familiar with the UK roads, the old CB names for places, one of the ones which has still stuck around is between junction 22 and 23 of the M62. The motorway goes over the moors and it splits, and there's a farm in the middle, in between the east and the west carriageways, and then it comes back together. And that was in CB days always referred to as the little house on the prairie. And it's one of the few CB names for places on the UK road network that seems to have stuck around. But there was some snow up there. I drove through a very brief flurry of snow up there maybe a week or so ago. But there's literally, we're just not having any decent weather.
Now, we were predicted to have snow on election day here.
We just had heavy rain instead.
Yeah, instead it just got really, really cold and then rained. So that's pretty much British weather these days.
Yeah. Warrington Train Spotter, you've got their number there.
Richie Download Festival Goer says, Zoe, what's your favourite heavy metal band? Now that is an interesting
Metallica?
question. I do come back to Metallica more than any other band, but
Yeah.
at the moment I've been listening to a lot of Blind Guardian.
Who?
Oh, they're brilliant. Proper hair metal, the Fantasy and Brimstone guys.
Oh, back that train up. Hair metal?
Do you not know what hair metal is? The massive hairdos and everything like
Of
that?
course I don't know what hair metal is, otherwise I wouldn't be asking you.
My goodness.
Wally.
But yeah, Metallica's the one I come back to the most. But who else? I listen to a huge amount of stuff on YouTube, and rather than anywhere else these days. And the guy I find the best in terms of heavy metal
So
is
you're being told off by Angus's trains?
Leo Moracchioni from Frog Leap Studios. If you haven't seen his stuff, he does covers of popular music, but he does it in a metal style, and it is amazing.
Anywho,
And the other question that came up was, have I started my underground layout yet?
no, you haven't.
No.
I bought her. It was a Will's kit. There's a Will's kit or something. Was it the newspaper stand?
Yes, and I
And
will get round to doing it the moment that she stops saying. When I keep this is the thing, I edit all of Jen's videos and I film them all as well, so I have a lot of work to do to keep Jen going.
There's a lot of
Jen and I
excuses out of
agreed
this one.
that I would have some time off over Christmas, which is why I filmed all of her videos for her and then edited them up. But because I had to do that, then I haven't had time to do anything else. So after Christmas, I may have a day or so to try and get that done, and then that will be the start of the layout. But Jen has very graciously agreed to help me build it.
Yeah, I have. Can I just say, Will Tucker says bands, Blythe Power, the only band named after a Class 56. Now, funnily enough, I do know who Blythe Power are, because I have seen them live. Back in the late 1990s, they played University College student bar, and I went to see them. So I have seen Blythe Power, and I'm familiar with that group. Anyway, Angus's train's getting annoyed because you're not talking trains.
Well,
So-
Angus Trains, I'm going to give you the hand signal of my people.
You see, I have to live with this.
No, you don't have to. You get
Oh, I
to.
get to.
You get to live with this. You get to enjoy this.
No, you get to enjoy this. Oh, well, that one as well. Oh yes, interesting. Brockwell Lane. Do you remember the Queen video filmed on a wagon behind a 28XX? Filmed at the Nene Valley Railway, I believe, which is the same place where they filmed pretty much all of the railway scenes in all of the Bond films. It's where, in GoldenEye, you know, with the tank and the armoured train, it's where that was filmed.
Right.
It's also
GoldenEye's
where...
a good film. You should watch that.
Is it Octopussy? The circus train?
I'm not as much of a fan of the Roger Moore. I think they were basically coasting along on goodwill by the end of that.
It got a little bit. It was almost like Carry On James Bond.
Yeah, and that wasn't what I was saying. I like the Timothy Dalton Bond because it felt like there was that era's version of what we have now with Daniel Craig, a Bond who's actually acting like the Bond of the books. Because he's not this suave and sophisticated guy. He's not the super spy secret
Bond
agent.
is a thug.
Yes.
He is a horrible person when you read the book.
Yes, he is a thug because that's the kind of person you need for that job. You don't get the suave and sophisticated gentleman who is always amiable, because that kind of person can't shoot people on command.
Ian the Train says, "Hi Jen and Cupboard Monkey, sorry late on phone call, chatting to mate Gary about trains." Don't worry about it. You can catch up with all of the fun, and we have had a fun-packed live stream actually. It's been amazing. And also I just want to, big thanks again to all the people who were incredibly generous with donations, and I will be putting that towards a Class 47. Not decided on what livery. I know that a lot of people suggested the police livery, BR Green livery, and my personal favourite is actually Intercity. I'm going to look around, see what I can find, but oh, excuse me. Yeah, so I just really wanted to thank the kind generosity of all of you. It's been a great live stream.
It really has. It's amazing.
Ian Ryan says, "You're right, Carry On Bond. Sean Connery is now second best. Daniel Craig is on top." I kind of go with that. I think Daniel Craig really does do the role justice.
Which is a bit weird because he doesn't like playing the character. I think it's because Daniel Craig is one of those actors who always likes a new challenge, and the fact is he did Bond, and that was a new challenge for him, and then he had to do Bond again and again and again, and that's not new.
Oh, Angus's trains. That's an interesting idea. Maybe by the Bachmann Royal Train Class 47 from the NRM. What period would that be, though? Is that post-privatisation? Because I kind of have this cut-off point of around 1992, which is the point at which they started preparing for privatisation. It's certainly one to possibly consider, but my personal favourites for liveries for a 47 would be small logo blue. I know it's a boring livery to a lot of people think, but I quite like it. I've got a 37 in small logo blue, and I really like it. It's probably my favourite. And I've got Eisteddfod Genedlaethol, which is the I didn't even need a running up jump for that, which is the 37 in Regional Railways livery. I do like that as well, but I prefer the 37 in the blue. But I also like Intercity. So did any of the 47s get Regional Railways? I know they got ScotRail, which is outwardly quite similar. It's basically ScotRail and Regional Railways appear to be much the same livery, but with just different branding. One's ScotRail, one's branded Regional Railways. But I'll have to go and see what's out there. The trouble is that you can't always get all liveries all the time. So I'm going to have to go and have a... Oh, somebody said... Paul Hinder says, yes, they did. Have they appeared in model form in Regional Railways?
Well, while you're asking and reading that, Bluegrass Rail fan mentioned country music. You know what happens if you play country music backwards? You get your wife back, your truck back, and your job back. It's the oldest joke about country music that has ever been, but it's true.
Brockwell Lane says, yes, Model Rail do a regional provincial 47. Have they still got them available? I'll have to go and take a look at that. Melchester Model Railway, actually, that is a good suggestion as well. I like 47s in Network South East. Now, I do quite like Network South East as well. I've got a pair of Class 50s in Network South East. And I keep meaning to pick up the Class 8 in Network Southeast as well.
The Royal Train 47 to the late 80s. That's after your era, isn't it?
No, late 80s, just there. I might consider that Angus's trains. It depends on whether I can find either regional railways, intercity, or small logo blue. I don't think it's ever actually called small logo blue, but it's what I call the one that's not large logo blue. Not a fan of large logo, it has to be said.
Where's the Gronks?
The
You
Gronk.
haven't got any Gronks running?
There's loads of Gronks
You
behind.
haven't got any Gronks running. I'm sad. Boo hoo. Boo boo hoo 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 hoo. Boo hoo.
And that'll serve you right for being rude to me.
Paul Hens, there's a message on Jenny's Facebook for you. So, okay, thank you. I'll have a read after this.
No worries. Bluegrass Rail fan, just wait till we get automated cars, then there will be a country song about a guy. Yeah.
My truck left me with my wife.
Yeah. Oh dear. You gotta love a good country song.
Actually, I like several of them.
I like some of the titles. Like, if I'd have killed you when I wanted to, I'd be out by now.
But I like the old stuff.
Go keep talking. I've got my job full.
You're terrible, you are. Time for Zoe's Gronk Fest. Yes, we need Gronks. Gronk, 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 Gronk.
All right. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change.
I had to look up who I was talking about. Some country music is good. Kenny Rogers, for example.
Oh yeah, he did some duets with Dolly Parton.
Absolutely brilliant. Ah, it's time for the ass cam, is it?
What?
Your arse is on camera, dear.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
Yes, it's a wide angle lens, so we got all of your buttocks.
Oh, buttocks Maximus.
My mum was doing time in the prison because she drove a goddamn truck into a train. Oh my goodness. Yeah. EWS 8, Gronk, excellent.
What?
Gronks are good. They've got a bit of something to them. A lot of the trains, when I look at them, the locomotives even, they've got big flat panels and no style to them. But a Gronk has stuff going on everywhere. It's got a bit of finesse to it.
Regardez et écoutez.
There's a class psycho guys who look like Kenny Rogers. I'm gonna look up that one. That would be brilliant.
There we are, Class 8 with sound.
Yeah.
In intercity livery. What's not to like?
You do love that. If you can't live without me, why weren't you dead when we met?
Is that an actual title? Swindon
That
1969 legend.
That is fantastic. Oh, that is brilliant.
Is that an actual title of a country song? Because if not, it needs to be.
I love it. Oh, that's made my night.
Somebody's asked for a tractor fest. Hey, come on now, come on. Well, let's see. Right, 2042. This is opening a whole can of worms because of you, Zoe. Because now I have to mess about with trains. Oh no!
Cool.
Oh no! I have to play with trains.
They've got a good look to them. They've got personality to them.
Right. Let me just. You talk.
Now, if we said anything about wide lenses,
Right.
That always reminds me. The wide lens joke always reminds me of that line in the Michael Keaton Batman, the first one, where a guy's saying, "If you want to photo me naked, you'll need a long lens." When I was a kid watching the Batman film, I didn't know what that meant.
I did.
I was a very, very sheltered child, and very, what can we say, innocent and pure. And
What went wrong?
she corrupted me.
That's the small logo 37, by the way. I really like that. There's something about this that I just quite like that livery.
Warrington Transport is saying, Zoe, how are you going with your stand-up? Have you had any gigs yet? I was going to. This is the thing. I wanted to do... whoa, that's loud.
Yep.
I wanted to do stand-up over November, December time to get it in real life. I've already done a stand-up gig on virtual reality, which kind of got me my, I want to do stand-up before the end of the year, which I did. But it doesn't feel like I did it properly, you know what I mean? So, I wanted to get it done in November or December. And then, this guy down in London, he decided to call an election. And I had to go and do that instead.
How inconsiderate.
It is. It's totally inconsiderate. It's terrible. I had work to do, damn it. So I ended up having to put everything on the side and just wait. So hopefully I'll get to do something early in the year. And if I actually do manage to get some time, which I'm hoping, Greater Manchester, there's a few comedy clubs around. I'll be able to film it and. Was that you hinting that I should stop?
Somebody asked for a tractor fest.
Oh dear.
Let's get some thrash.
I dare you to let Zoe take control. No. There you are. That's the only button I know what it does.
Right, the sound locos, there's 2 sound locomotives trundling around now. They're not too loud. They're not drowning us out, are they?
Probably not.
I'm sure that there's a button here for like thrash.
Well, let's not do too much because we don't want to be too loud, you know. Also, it's almost 10 o'clock at night and next door have young children. Please keep the volume down. See, this is why I'm here, not to keep her company and talk to her, to keep her under control so she doesn't wake next door's children. Thump her, please, says Paul.
Oh,
I'm assuming...
that's not thump her, please.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's a kind of...
Oh, it's doing it on the Wi-Fi.
It better not. It's supposed to be doing it on the Wi-Fi.
Right, hold on here a moment.
Guys, we
have an issue here.
Yeah.
It's just done the live stream on my data.
That seems... we have a problem now because if I press anything, it's going to change everything. Guys, I'm sorry. We're going
to have to go offline. For some reason, my phone has decided to do all this, not on the Wi-Fi, but on my 4G. And it's just burnt up a month's data in the first day of me having so we're going to have to... Yeah, you do your special thing.
We'll be back. We're going to be back on another live stream in like 2 minutes. See you soon.
Why is it...